is, do we assume at the beginning of a new session like this that we've taken a long rest, or do we have to declare the long rest if we're doing that?
It has to be
As far
declared. So it has
okay,
to. You have to have the time and the place for it.
okay. Because you're saying you're advancing the day, so I wasn't sure if exhaustion will start playing into that if we don't declare our long rest.
No, it's just kind of nebulous, really. It's like, don't read too much into it. It just means you've been down here since past midnight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, we popped out of this hole from.
Was it actually?
Well, my game just went crazy. Let me reload.
Oh,
Okay.
This hole comes from the waterfall, right? That I popped out of, and everyone followed me.
hang on a sec. Okay, yeah. Ultimately, it comes from the waterfall. So it kind of goes like this. You're not going to see this from the other, because I'm way up in the top right corner of the map here, but it kind of goes west to the first cave, or to the first pool, right when you entered the cave, and then it kind of turns south and curves a little bit and comes back to
Right.
there.
So we can't see your curve. I know what you're talking about because I took both those paths. We can only see your curve in explored space.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it essentially goes in this direction back to that Y intersection.
Yep.
And that will take you to, like I said, the waterfall or the pool that you entered at. And then it continues off in this direction.
I goofed it up. Got it.
So yeah, we just can't see, and like basically it's the lighting effect. I think you'd have to layer it over everything. I know what you're talking about. It's basically like the Y somewhere right around here, and then it goes back to here, and then I popped up like over here somewhere. It might not be exact, but somewhere in that general area.
Does a torch help?
Let me find. Do we have a torch on the map?
I threw one in there, yeah.
Yep. Nah, not because we. So the map will always be black when you go off map. Oh wait, something did just pop up, like a.
I'm viewing the map as Azun, and it's showing that you can see.
This.
No, you can't see outside of the boundaries of the cave, but you can see what you're supposed to be seeing.
Well, so you see what I'm seeing right here?
Yep. So you can see the pool, and you can see that it goes to the east and to the north.
Okay.
Refresh. Something just happened to mine.
All right.
I can see everything now.
Yeah, I'm tracking everything you're saying, but a lot became available. Like I couldn't see this area. I don't know if that's underground tunnels or what, and then I can see something over here I'm probably not supposed to see.
All I can tell you is when I view the map as Azun, you are seeing what you're supposed to see.
Okay.
So hopefully it looks right on your end too.
Yeah, no, the tunnel wise, everything makes sense. I understand how I came down it because I also moved across it, and you basically showed me dragging my token. But
Excuse me.
So goblins came from this way.
Yeah.
At the end of the session, then we killed them. Okay. Just trying to get my bearings, make sure I remember everything correctly.
And so my hope and dream for today is to have the characters start. What are the words I'm looking for? just to hopefully start gelling as a unified team, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
Hey Thor, just to make sure we're on the same page, I'm gonna hit share my screen for a second. I think. And show you that all of this is popping up over there.
Oh, are you saying the fact that you can see dimly the rest of the map outside of your visible area?
Yeah, it was solid black completely until you and Azun were talking, and then
you can see
my
it.
holes. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Okay, all right. Well,
That my entire screen went black for a second, and I had to refresh, and then all of that was visible.
I still would like one day to have the dynamic lighting working the way I wanted it to, but today is not that day.
For pretty much everything, it seems to be working.
So-
like now, everything just got lit up.
Yeah, I just zoomed in so I wouldn't see it, but I could see creatures and everything.
Now everything is black. Now just your local area is lighting up. I'm on classic fog of war now, so I'm manually revealing these areas.
Yeah, I think the dynamic was working, just for the conversation of where we were and where we came from. It became a bit tricky because everything is very, very shadowy without having the visual range there.
So I'm going to have to take a few moments and just reveal the places that you've been, so that hopefully it doesn't get too confusing. I mean, this is a good way to do the lighting too. And it looks like we're not going to really be able to get the dynamic lighting working anytime soon. I mean, I hear reports of how buggy it is all the time, and I'm like, well,
Yeah, if you don't try, it doesn't work.
yeah,
But
it usually pretty much works, if that makes sense. Like, it can get a little sluggish, but it can be a little buggy.
So I'm gonna pull out a piece of parchment, and I'm just gonna. I don't know if I need to make a roll, but I'm basically gonna try and draw not detailed, not every little edge and wall, but just a rough map of like we were over here, and then we went down here, and we went here, just to show the party. I don't know if there's a roll for that you want me to make to see how accurate I do it.
Yeah, make an intelligence check.
7.
Okay.
Very cartoony.
That does pop up as a save, for the record.
Oop.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean saving throw. I meant like an intelligence check.
Yep, my bad.
Let's see.
Well, that's a natural 20. Take it how you will.
Cool. All right.
Whichever roll you want to go with, you want to change the modifier.
You have a pretty accurate map, so pretty much zoom out and that's your map so far.
So I think, and I'm kind of working off here because the tunnels and the water, that was really. I mean, it was dark down there. But I think if we go south, we might find something. I think, based on what I'm looking at, I think if we go north, we might be backtracking. Not really sure. Kind of guessing.
Well, let's try it. Go south.
Asher, do you want to scout the way?
Right. Let's get a stealthy stealth going. We can also, while I'm looking at the spinning wheel here. There we go. We can also do an arrangement where everybody has 2 characters if you want. And cool.
If no one wants to, I'm comfortable playing a ranger. It's nothing new to me. I know Alaris might have an easier time playing a wizard, but if you're comfortable playing a ranger as well, go for it.
No, I never played a ranger. So if you have,
Are
go
you
forth.
Are you saying pick up their sheets, like, at the moment, or make additional characters?
Not necessarily. I'm saying if you want a second character, if you want to take over Asher or Uriel, go for it. Or if you just want to make an additional character, go for it. Or if you just want to play one character, do that. That's fine too.
If you want to throw Asher into my journal, unless someone else wants to, I can take care of that. It's a pretty straightforward class.
Yeah,
Okay, give me a moment. Ethan, were you about to say something?
I think I was going to suggest to the party that maybe before we head out, we take a short rest real fast. So,
Oh, absolutely! I didn't want to rush anyone. I just thought I would draw out this map, and like I said, that I kind of explored multiple directions, so I thought I'd give us a good overview. I definitely backtracked on the first tunnel we took, so I thought it was important to note that this place is pretty confusing. It's almost like a labyrinth.
very well might be one, but I appreciate that you have taken note of where we are and have something to help us figure out where to go next.
So I'd assume we do the short rest before Asher wanders off.
Yeah, go ahead
Yes.
and apply a short rest. So Asher
much
scouts ahead and
appreciated.
suggests maybe down here that it looks like there's a more defensible spot if you want.
Down there? Yeah. I'd say that works, and we can move down there to have this little rest of ours.
Okay.
Did he
Alright,
go
the rest
over
Where-
there?
Yeah.
down in the corner.
I have the torch for all you about to be blinded people. There. I guess with dynamic lighting it doesn't matter.
Well, I assumed we had some source of light, or else it'd just be pitch black for anyone that didn't have.
Yeah, but without having to do the without dynamic lighting actively on, we don't have to keep the torch.
Is there anywhere that says Asher's favorite terrain?
That's a good question.
He should.
It should be under class
So-
features.
Oh, there's the thing for his favorite terrains, but it doesn't necessarily say it unless it's somewhere else.
Unless he took, which he might have.
Oh, that's
do.
No, you're right. We talked about this last time. Whatever that other thing is what he took.
Favorite
Well,
foe?
he took favored foe over
Yes.
favorite enemy.
Yeah.
There's also Deft Explorer
Yes.
instead
No,
of Natural Explorer, which just does.
but he took favorite foe, so his terrain thing doesn't apply.
No, the terrain thing is an additional. It's 2,
Okay.
so he might have had. How many languages does he know?
Languages. He knows 4 total.
4 total. So he probably took the other option. Because humans are only going to know, what, 1 or 2?
Yeah, they'll know 2.
And then Deft Explorer gives canny is another 2 languages. Here, just so you have quick reference, I'll send you there. It's in the chat. In the Discord chat. Okay.
Yeah. It's just Roll20 doesn't tell you what these things are under your feats. So he probably had it written down somewhere, which I don't know if
It should be telling you what they are.
It doesn't. It just says
if you hit the gear icon, it'll give you the
no, because so the way your feats are listed in like on your main core, it talks about your awareness in your favorite terrain, but it doesn't say your awareness in this terrain.
It doesn't tell you what it is.
Right. Gotcha. It just references it as a third party reference. Basically, it's like whatever your favorite terrain is, you get this, this, and this.
Yeah.
It doesn't specify what you picked.
Yep, but like I said, since he's got a bunch of languages, it's probably the other one. A doubled skill proficiency, extra languages, that kind of thing. That's what I would. That's what I would think, but that doesn't mean.
I mean, it's not a big deal. I don't want to derail us. I'm just trying to quickly look through what he picked and have an idea of how this works for his character. So, if we want to continue on that, don't worry about it. I'll play without it if I have to. It's not game breaking at this level.
Can you
it's a good
DM me a note about the discrepancy, and I can check it out later.
How does? Oh, okay. You get to decide after each roll. Cool. Yikes. That's 6.
There's some stipulations on hit point recovery.
Yours or normal ones?
You need a med kit and a medicine check, basically.
Okay. You errated me to have a medicine kit.
I'm pretty sure somebody has a medicine kit. I'm like 90% sure. I remember having a conversation where I said, I don't want to get to the situation where we are right now and then have somebody say, oh, I didn't get a medicine kit.
It's whoever's proficient in it.
Yeah,
that's how we decided it, and it's not.
I've got medicine.
Okay, so it was you that had it.
Yeah,
and it was 10 uses, and you used 1 at the time of the conversation. Because it was it was something you Thor specifically said. I'd rather retcon it now than when there's a down player. Well, I'm proficient in this, but don't have it. So you'd be at 9 uses for that med kit.
Yeah. I add? Oh, I can just punch it in over. Healer's kit.
Actually, can I make this a long rest?
We won't stop you.
I mean, of course you can. You're the DM.
Okay.
That simplifies some of the things. Sure.
Okay, so
reinforcements.
Medicine check for anybody who is regaining hit points.
Over the course of the long rest?
Yep.
Okay.
I guess I have a question about that. So it's a medicine check to use hit dice or to take a long rest?
Yes. I mean, to regain the hit points. You don't have to make a medicine check to take a long rest. So, and you get the hit dice back. A character being administered with a medicine check will gain an additional hit die of hit points per level. So if you are a 10th level fighter, a successful medicine check will get you 10d10 hit points.
Okay, so you don't just use the long rest, everyone's at full go.
No.
Okay.
Nope, and the short rest actually is only a 1 hit point gain.
Ooh.
One hit? Okay.
Per level, yeah. And I think I can add con to that.
Okay, per level's not awful.
1 per level plus con.
So Asher will make a medicine check if we're doing a long rest.
Yeah, I've already thrown mine up for that.
That was.
I don't think I got hit. So.
That was a 13 for Asher, which would be if it's successful, it'd be a 3d8. I mean, I like the rule personally. I think
makes it interesting.
Yeah, the whole you can be at 1 hit point, go to sleep, and wake up. Oh, good as new. Like you got stabbed in the heart. It's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, I mean it depends on what you explain hit points as usually, you know.
Yeah, I don't really explain them as anything. I think explaining them just makes it worse.
So did Asher pass his medicine check or fail?
That's a pass.
So he rolls 3d8.
Yeah.
Okay. Plus or minus, or plus is con or no?
So for the medicine check, it's just 3d8. So we're just doing the medicine check right now, and then we'll do the hit points that you get like as a baseline. So Asher gets 18 hit points back.
He goes back to full.
Okay. And then everybody for a long rest, no matter what happens, assuming they start the long rest conscious with 1 hit point, gains a character. Let me just start from the beginning. A character can't benefit from a long rest, uninterrupted rest, more than once in a 24-hour period. And a character must have at least 1 hit point at the start of the rest to gain the benefits. A shorter rest period, such as Elf's Trance ability, does not change this. A character does not gain all hit points back from a long rest. A character gains con bonus hit points per level per long rest, as long as these conditions are met. This is a given. So,
quick question there, just so I understood the wording. You get your con bonus times your level.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Asher would have gotten 6 plus 18 is 24.
Yeah. So he'd have gotten his con multiplied by his level plus 3d8.
Yep. And so the con times level is given if nobody does anything other than just sleep. On top of that, a character being administered with a medicine check will gain an additional hit die of hit points per level. For example, a 10th level fighter would recover 10d10 hit points, 6th level wizard gets 66, and so on. A character being administered a medicine check by a proficient character with a healer's kit gains all their hit points back and may qualify to have any applicable poisons or diseases removed per raw. So if Asher was proficient in medicine, he would have all of his hit points back automatically. He doesn't have to roll anything.
Okay. So is that right?
Con times level plus hit dice per level.
Yep.
The plus hit dice per level is if you get a medicine check from a non-proficient character.
All right, so let me rewrite that. That way everyone can just copy and paste it and know it.
So let me see if was Calidorn proficient in medicine?
Yes, because I got the healers. Yeah.
Okay, so well, that's not what determines if you're proficient in medicine.
I know,
It's if you.
but I was, and so when we talked about the healers kit last session, I'm the one that it went to.
Yep. Okay, that is okay. That's what I thought. So, where Calidorn made that successful medicine check above Asher's, whoever that was being directed towards gets all of their hit points back because Calidorn is proficient.
Awesome. That was to myself, and does that burn a healer's kit use?
Yep, that is one healer's kit used.
Okay. And then
So-
is it one towards Asher as well?
No, Asher.
No.
Asher used his own.
Does he have a healer's kit? Or
No,
is that
but
medicine
I
check
gave him
just... Okay,
I put one in his inventory. So
gotcha.
so all medicine checks, regardless of proficient or not, we need a med kit.
there are no exceptions that I can think of off the top of my head.
I'm just making sure. So anybody that's taking a long rest basically needs a med kit.
You might not need a med kit for like an autopsy.
Well, I'm
If
asking
we're
in a
healing,
sense- yeah,
if we're
I'm-
trying to heal
Yeah,
missing
med
hit
kit.
points.
Okay, so it's one med kit use per long rest per person, whether we share someone else's med kit or have our own.
Yeah, it's one med kit use
Okay.
per use of the skill.
But I guess we're asking are there any points that you get without a medicine check on a long rest at all?
Yeah,
I thought you said points.
yeah, you get Constitution bonus times level.
Okay, good. Okay, I thought that's what you
Okay.
said. So that's without the check. Even you can still get your Constitution
Then
times.
if all you're doing
level.
is sleeping, you get Con bonus times level.
Okay.
All right. So I think minus that part, if you want to put it in your notes, without a med kit, it's con times level, con modifier times level, and then if you're using a med kit, it's what I wrote out here: con times level plus hit dice per level. Bracket if successful on medicine check, close bracket, close parentheses, which is your PIMDAS. I'm a mathematician, so excuse that if that's a little complicated, but
Got it. Okay.
so if everyone's good with the last two lines I put, I'm gonna copy and paste those last two lines into the journal for us all as a quick reference.
It's let me do it.
That's fine. I was just trying to put it in a quick note format so that people could go, how did it work again?
I think
While you're doing that,
I think
if it
I've
doesn't
got
distract
it
you,
kind of distilled down.
if it doesn't distract you while you're writing that, my question is if you're the, let's say, last person on watch and a long rest, and you are doing a mundane task, like not exerting, but like maybe reading something casually or whatever, does that affect your long rest, or is your long rest you sit there and you either perceive something happening around you for the alertness to encounter, or you don't and you can't do anything else?
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
For instance, if I was the last person on a long rest sequence, I'm on watch, and I am the last hour, I'm like, you know what? What are the spells I need to prepare? I'm going to do that while I'm on watch. Whether it's a disadvantage on my perception check to see if something happens or not, discount that. But just, does the preparing spells while on the last watch of long rest affect my completion of long rest?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
And
So mundane tasks
wherever
don't
you
affect
are
us.
in the watch order does not affect that either. It's just assumed to be compensated for in one way or another.
Okay. Sorry if that sounded complex to anyone. I was just asking for a clarifying rule. So mundane tasks while on watch don't affect our long watch process.
No, not really.
Okay.
So here we go. Okay, so I put that in the chat.
Okay.
I'm sorry, in the campaign journal is what I meant.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So
Glad we figured it out.
So there's one edit I'm gonna make here.
Oh,
Okay.
I need.
All I did was move the campaign notes below that. So if we have to add any rule reference stuff like that, or which I might add it at the end of the game, like your known spells for the day, I'm gonna put all that at the very top. That way you can go to reference either rules or house rules or whatever that come up that we need to know.
Okay.
Are always going to be at the top, and notes are always going to be below that.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
as an easy which way to go kind of thing.
Ignore that roll.
Just to make sure everybody was awake.
I clicked on. I inserted medicine kit as like tool proficiencies, and when I clicked on it, it had that, and I couldn't remember what was up, so I just clicked OK. So it made me a medicine roll with a strength modifier.
I was gonna say, is your wisdom 12?
No, but pretty. My strength is 1. It's a 1 modifier, so.
So I think we're good there. I'm decent. I'm good enough to play Asher. I've got this. If you don't want to play, I forget Jason's tune's name off the top of my head.
Uriel?
If you Uriel. If you don't want to play him Thor, I can play a wizard much faster. That is super easy.
Well then play Uriel then.
Okay. That's an easy swap out. It's all the same shit minus human side.
Yeah, doesn't make too much of a.
And just look at his spell list and yeah, that's what I got to work with. I can't promise I'll play him like Uriel, but
Well,
what's his subclass? What's the subclass for Uriel?
Blade Singer, it looks like.
oh yeah, he started to do that.
That's so weird. I just switched out of that. All right, cool.
You switched out of that?
Yes, I switched from that, and they're that. Because I don't think they were before, or at least I don't know.
That wasn't his initial plan, but where the role playing was taking him, he was starting to look at it as it made more sense.
Me too. That's crazy.
All right, so you're a Blade Singer now?
No,
I was a Blade Singer, and
changed.
she tweaked it to Scribe, right?
Order of Scribes.
Oh.
I don't even know what that is, so you got me.
That's from Tasha's.
Oh, okay, I haven't
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at it. I'll check it out.
dnd5e.wiki.com.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
Everything's on there.
I'll look at it later, but.
And so go ahead and apply the other effects of the long rest Let's see, favorite foe.
So I'm gonna go ahead and immediately at the end of our long rest use level 1 spell, apply mage armor again for the next 8 hours.
Likewise.
So just let me know when that wears out when we've hit our 8-hour period. And then for Uriel, I'm just going to use spells at... Oh, no, I'm not. Because he did not have many spells memorized.
Well, now's the time. You got a long rest.
Yep, I'm doing it right now. It's level, proficiency, so 5 plus intelligence modifier.
See, what's nice about this spot is you can kind of hide yourself here, and the sound of the waterfall will dampen any sound you might make. The downside is that it's going to be a little cold.
So we're looking at a waterfall right now?
Mm-hmm.
Some point either during making camp or during the long rest, I want to explore around the waterfall. I want to get let's see a zoom. I want to get like right here, and like kind of trying to look behind it. Is there a pathway behind it?
Make an investigation check.
Probably would like to help with that, actually.
Okay. We'll give you, and you're
So 20.
Is Ilaris proficient in investigation?
I was
Yeah.
gonna add a zoom.
So you can have the 20 for having advantage.
Yeah, I'd say I'm also proficient in it.
Okay. You find a small cache of treasure and loot under that waterfall.
Oh.
I will point this out to the group, and well, if I don't know our MOS anymore, because we'll have to fix that. But assuming at the end of the long rest, I looted it and made everyone aware at the end of the MOS or at the end of the long rest, and we'll adjust our MOS later. But just that this is what I found behind the waterfall.
Treasure.
We know what it is.
Oh, group loop became a.
And I made a character for group loot, so
I am noticing this. Did you happen to save our sheet?
save your sheet.
Yeah, so oh wow, we found a lot of shit there. Yeah, so we had a sheet of stuff from the Goblin camp under group loot that we had not yet split.
Well, it's in the log either way. I've got a dagger +1, potion of healing, and potion of invisibility in the group log from last week.
So the week before that, there should have been some gold, silver, and copper like mail arm, like just random armor and weapons that seemed like they might sell for something.
Oh, I don't usually write those like minor items down in the log.
But we did, like specifically Asher wanted to grab the loot and weapons.
I managed to write some of it down.
I got the money, but I don't have
If we have the
anything
money,
else.
if we have the money, let's just move forward.
I think I have the money.
It's in the SOP's document.
Oh,
I'm
it's
looking
in the
at
SOP. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So.
Oh yeah,
Let's
life-size strawberry made with ruby with emerald leaves.
Yep.
Oh, that's
yeah, that was.
So I'm just gonna
life-size strawberry.
For the time being, I'm just gonna copy and paste the what you just put into the SOP, and at the end of the game, I'll put it in the loot group's inventory.
Okay.
That way we can just move forward.
Jeez. Yeah. Azun, you found a great
Very nice treasure.
find. That's
All right. Well,
140 something gold.
Yep, I'll add it all up at the end of the game, and I'll add it to our group loot.
nice.
All right. That way we can just move on with the story, and no one has to worry about that.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right, my sheet has been fixed. I have all my stuff in there from the rest, so I'm good to go.
Okay.
So I didn't find a path behind this waterfall.
No.
Looks
Might
a
have to
dead
jump
end.
in.
It might be a dead end, but we haven't explored north either. I don't know if we want to. I can dive in the water. I mean, I can hold my breath for a long. I know I'm small, but I can hold my breath for a long time and check it out. But just in case we want to go north first. But I don't mind jumping into the water. It's whatever.
If you dive into
I
the
mean,
water, you're gonna hit your head on the bottom.
Ah.
It's not that deep.
Dive was a strong word, but I was going to get into the water, and I will assume Uriel, as per usual, hands me a Minotaur right at the beginning of the day.
Oh my. Well, he tried.
Something is happening. Why don't we just head north as we can't go? We've gone as south as we can. And Asher could check it out for
So
us.
she's gonna scout ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me.
Oops.
God, one day I will figure out how you're doing that.
Doing what?
How he is moving his character with the
With the measurement,
yeah.
if
Right
you click your token and either right click or press Q, you'll get the measurement. And then every time you right click again, you will create a corner on your measurement.
Right, I can do that, but my character doesn't move with it.
It does from other people's perspective.
So you guys see me moving?
I don't.
No, I don't see you moving.
Actively pick up your token and
That-
drag it, but don't drop it to another space, and then right click while you're doing that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, now I know how you're doing it. I always tried to go to the measurement tool, and I was like, "There's a combination of keys here that will work."
Yeah.
And I never found
don't
it.
forget the Uriel token.
Yep, I'll
I'm
grab
not
that.
sure who's got.
I cannot grab Uriel.
Yeah, it's not the measurement tool. Oh, you can't?
No. I have the journal, and I've been looking at it, but I do not have
that token. Can you just
no.
Controlled by...
Can you try to drag out another one?
Is determined.
See if that does it.
Oh, yeah, let me see if I can drag out another one. There it is. All right. Yep, now I can do it. All right, got that figured out.
Yay! If nothing else, this is a fun learning night.
Well, I'm assuming I'm hanging back enough to let Asher explore.
You want to go left or right here?
Whatever Asher would pick.
Asher will roll if you guys don't want to pick.
Hitting that DM with you tell us.
Go for it.
Asher says right.
Following the scout.
All right.
So, what are we looking at here? Assuming Asher hasn't told us to hang back.
You've got a few barrels here and a few shelves here.
Okay, so those are shelves. Gotcha.
And they are dusty and riddled with cobwebs. They seem to have had some food storage on them, but whatever was once there is gone or rotted away or whatever.
I will assist Asher if he's investigating the barrels. And I do have proficiency in investigation.
Okay, we'll give it a shot then. Well, the good news is that it's pretty clear. There's nothing difficult about this. Okay, so one barrel has some, looks like 3 sets of thieves' tools and 2 healer's kits.
Oh.
The other barrel has a bunch of cinnamon in it. Those are the 2 medium barrels.
They really like cinnamon, don't they?
So, do we want to split the healer kits out? One to me and one to Alaris, and put the third one in the group loot?
Seems fair. That way everyone has one.
That works.
Essentially.
Just as a side note, put your healer's kit as a ×10. That way you know the uses. If you're like me and lazy and just throw it in your inventory.
Oh. You can also toss it in as a, the resource thing over to the side.
I'm assuming we don't grab the cinnamon.
No, it's too much. Left the other cinnamon anyway.
No.
And
As
so
a
in this crate you find a suit of plate armor and a suit of studded leather.
Ooh.
That plate armor's worth something. Do either one of them look in specifically good condition, or do they just look pretty, just your average run-of-the-mill?
They both look rather fancy.
Ooh.
Do I think they're magical?
Alaris, maybe we should, at some point look over this. I mean, maybe now is not the right time, but maybe we look over this armor and stuff, and we bring it along.
I'll definitely bring it along. And we can check it later, I suppose. Although it won't take me very long to see.
Yeah, from a good standpoint. Thor is a druid. Can I wear the studded leather?
I believe you can, yes.
I'm proficient in Arcana, so could I help Alaris determine whether these things are magical if she wanted to take the time?
That requires the use of a detect magic spell.
Should I try to quick identify them?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I
Oh,
assist in
wait,
that
you're not.
process?
No, okay, you are still. You are still a shepherd of Inanaset and Adrimalek.
I am, yes.
Okay. Can you pop that quick identify
I-
into the chat real quick for me?
Yeah, hold on.
On your character sheet, it'll have like a little speech bubble. Just click that.
Gotta put it back in. Oh, I didn't put it back in on here, but hold on.
Oh, okay.
Because like I had to reset everything,
Yeah,
but I didn't put
okay.
this back on here yet.
I gotcha.
Because it's taking me a minute. But just give me like 30 seconds, actually. Or
I might
less.
get to it faster than you do. We'll see.
Well, let's see. Gentify. Haha. Did I do it?
Yep. Okay. Okay, so make an Arcana check.
With advantage if I help or no? I'm proficient.
In this case, no. Well, I don't think so, because this is something specific to being a shepherd of Adrimalek and Inanaset.
So being a follower doesn't help that.
No. You don't get the shepherd abilities.
Well,
Which one were you identifying?
let's go with the plate armor.
Okay, that is +1 plate, and it has an ability to all damage dealt by fiends is divided in half.
Oh. I tell the group, pretty powerful plate armor, and then I need another check for this other one. So.
And then in the other barrel, there are 20 sling bullets and a trident. The leather armor is studded leather +1 that increases the wearer's charisma score by 1.
Oh.
So, yeah, there you go.
Charisma skill or charisma modifier?
Charisma score.
Skill.
So
Yeah.
if it's 19, you get it up to from +4 to +5. If it's 18, it stays at +4.
And the plate mail, it was resistant to which? Was it demon or
Was it
fiend?
was it
Fiend.
Fiend
Devils.
resistance?
All right, that's in the SOB. Yeah, which will be stuff that I'll put in the group later.
Well, I would. If this is studded leather that doesn't have, because of the druid metal restriction, and it's in your rules as well, Thor. to do no metal. If this studded leather doesn't have metal, I would ask if... Well, I suppose that's the first answer I need.
Yeah,
Is if this is...
druids can wear studded leather under pretty much most normal circumstances.
Okay, sweet. In that case,
Go ahead, take it. If everyone's good with that, I'll remove it from the SOP so that you can add it to yours.
you can leave it in there because I'll copy paste. I'll deal with it later.
Okay.
Because I'd have to attune.
Well, you only have to attune if it requires attunement.
Does it require
That's fair.
attunement?
No.
There you go.
I'm assuming you said yep, but you cut out there.
I thought you said no.
I said no.
Okay.
Okay.
I heard yep, and then nothing else. So I assumed yep.
Most of the armor and weapons in D&D that are like just +1, +2, +3 are not attunement.
That makes sense. I can see +1s getting away with it, but higher up, sometimes. I guess it depends on how stingy.
Like if it
people are
was
with
if it was
their magic
+2 and like having all fiendish damage, then I think yeah, it would be attunement. It's kind of right on the envelope there.
If you want to copy and paste it, it's in the SOP, and if you just want to delete it after you copy it,
Okay.
and just
Well,
put
if
it
you
in
guys
yours.
are... This leather armor is something that I can certainly use. If the rest of you, and Asher especially here, is okay with it, I would like to take that.
Are you kidding me? That thing weighs as much as me. There's no way in hell I'm wearing that.
Yeah, I can't wear it.
Well, I figured I would check. The plate armor will provide us with quite a payday unless we find a very, very nice friend. But I can use the other for sure.
Excellent. Go forth and prosper.
Back to that Star Trek.
If you will just, be on guard for a moment, it should not take me long.
I'll keep watch.
Just
We got
switch.
your back.
You see Azun, 3 foot tall, actively watching the way we haven't explored, eyes twitching back and forth, head turning side to side.
There's also 20 sling bullets in this barrel and a trident.
Oh, I'd like to identify this trident too.
Studded. I had it open. I got rid of it. Studded leather.
Aquaman. Or Poseidon.
Trident of Fish Command.
Fish Command.
Aquaman's favorite weapon.
13 plus 1 studded leather armor. That is not going to get me
Trident is saved. If I totally off memory here, if I remember correctly, studded leather is 3 plus your dex modifier up to 2.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find, in order to punch it in, it's not, it's not, I can't just type it into my inventory and expect it to get thrown up. I've got to do some stuff to it. AC, it's mods. I want that.
Hello, lady.
Exploration.
Let's keep going. We must clear this out.
We've lost time, boys. Let's move on.
For the record, it took me 2 minutes to change armor. I didn't take too long. But that is done. My stuff is adjusted enough. Do any of you have a way to mark these barrels?
Yes, I do actually.
Bam.
And
X.
I conjure up my quill, and I go, well, you want to mark them as what? Just that we were here? You want to mark the contents? What do you want to do?
Can you do a big red X?
Of course. I do
On
a
the
big...
top, on the top, on the side, both? Anything like that.
It's classic.
Okay. And I do it, no ink required. I write a big red X on the side of the barrel.
I'm thinking maybe whoever left this here, whoever typically watches this, and whoever put it here, might not be the same person. And if they see a big red X, maybe they think they should stay away from it. And
Very
so we
clever.
can take it
Nice
on our
thinking.
way back out.
Very clever.
Because while armor is certainly more interesting than cinnamon, cinnamon could be just as profit fetching.
I imagine the town would take the cinnamon. We may not find a buyer for plate armor in a common town like ours near us, but they would definitely go for the cinnamon. I mean, who doesn't need spices? Come on now.
True, but somebody most certainly would. And who actively grabbed the trident? I feel like we could carry that one with us.
I put it in the SOP already.
Okay, so we...
If
So
we
should-
want to do the weight, we can talk to the DM about how much plate mail costs or weighs to carry around, but it starts getting tricky.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, if we were actively carrying everything in the SOP, or we were just noting what we found so far.
Well, mostly I can just hand wave it, but something like plate mail, plate armor, I'm going to want you to... Because that's going to be a pain in your ass to carry around.
Can we divide it up to manageable parts because we know the whole of what it looks like?
It weighs 65 pounds.
Right, so I'm saying, like, if you take the big piece and then Alaris takes a couple of the small pieces, then I take a couple of small pieces, but we know how it goes together, so when we go to sell it, we can reassemble it all together and say, here.
So, and this is how I would interpret that. I don't think any of us are carrying a bag large enough to put plate mail in.
No,
So
but
the
we have...
easiest way to transport it is to put pieces on.
But we have rope and stuff. I mean, we can always, cut up some hemp rope if we had to and tie it to packs, or take the leather, because it's bound by leather straps itself, so we could always tie those leather straps to packs and just carry the pieces individually.
But that does make it a lot heavier on us, and would make noise. And I don't know if that's what we want at the moment.
Are you saying to leave it?
I'm saying that's exactly why I asked you to mark the barrels. We know mostly what's behind us. And we don't know what's ahead of us. But we know we have found this.
In a normal situation, Calidorn, I would absolutely agree with you. That is the most logical path, but this whole place could be one giant maze, and at the end of it, we could not know our ass from our feet. As Pebblekind would tell me, the long path typically makes you forget the beginning, but A short path, you remember everything.
Well, I would hope that magic armor is plenty incentive.
I would make my
But I
best guess.
suppose
Asher can carry 80 more pounds right now without being encumbered. So in terms of weight, he could carry it. He could dump his scale mail and put it on, but then stealth is out the door.
His stealth's already been out the
he's
door.
already.
That's up
How'd
to
you get
you.
Yeah, we can. I mean, we can split it up.
I mean, I have no problem using NPCs as mules, but theatrically, storyline-wise, it makes no sense if we handed Asher plate mail, and then as soon as he's about to depart, it's like, hey, by the way, give us that plate mail back. So theatrically, if you're okay with him
split
being
it
like,
up.
carry it, then I'm good with it, but
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
as someone that's done some blacksmithing research, I can tell you plate mail is a breastplate, a plate skirt, which would cover roughly mid-thigh, shoulder pieces, arm pieces, forearm pieces. That would be...
I mean, the D&D plate mail is all of it.
Okay, so then you get into the legs as well, and
Yeah, it's full sets of greaves and sabatons and gauntlets and
right.
everything. So that's why it's real. If we dump it in a bag and we carry the bag, the bracers and connectors and gauntlets are all going to cling together just by walking. Even putting some of it on is going to make noise, but that's why this is mentally become a problem.
I mean,
I feel like we have to solve.
We could leave.
I'm all good with carrying it. I mean, like, whatever shows up, we'll take care of the problem, but we're worried about other factors, then, I'm one for the group.
I think we can take care of anything that comes our way, and let's just take it.
I like her mentality. First round of fire water's on me.
Here.
I suppose we could run with it as long as we can split it up enough to make it manageable.
All right.
Does your ability to carry, as far as your strength modifier, is it standardized or is it broken up into tiny, medium, large characters? I've never played a tiny character, so I never had to look.
I've always made it like standardized according to your strength, but within logical reason. Like bulk is going to be some kind of factor,
But I was just asking, because my strength's 10, so it's an average strength. But is that an average strength of a 30-pound creature or an average strength of a 150-pound creature?
No, I treat it as universal. Like 10 means you can carry 150 pounds.
Just strap on the plate mail. I got some hemp rope. I'll tie it up to where it don't jingle. I got this.
Just rules as written.
It makes no logical sense, but I can do it. I'm hefty.
You're a tiny Hulk.
Which, no one's seen Azun without his robes. When he takes his robes off, he's fucking buff.
We don't need to think about that. I'm gonna pass on that for the evening.
You see him, and he's a midget Hulk, like straight just bodybuilder.
So, which way should we go then? Should I roll again, or do you want to decide?
There's another branch.
I would assume if he hasn't heard anything or detected anything, we're all up here. I don't know if that changes our limited view with people's dark vision.
No, it's all up so far. Personally, as we split the armor up and all that, I'll take bracers and like shin guards, and I'll strap them on over my armor without it touching my skin, I guess.
I'll take the breastplate and just strap it to my pack. It's
Okay.
just,
or we could give Asher the breastplate and stuff just for.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't change anything because he's not armoring anything else. But
Asher, hold on to this, but when you leave, I want it back.
Okie dokie.
Sorry, I'm always the smartass in real life. Can't help it.
Well, it fits for a Zune.
Yeah. And Zune, you've been keeping track of your map, right?
Yes, and he pulls out it and sketches the little bit further we've gone. I think it would make the most sense to go right here. We may reconnect where we've already been if we go straight, but I can't be 100% sure. It's very confusing.
Yeah, he got a natural 20 on his intelligence check, so zoom out and that's his map. Zoom out to 10% right. And you'll see it.
Right. So my only question is because, obviously if I look north, you would assume they connect, but has elevation played a part in any of this? Are we constantly going at a slow, gradual slope down?
Nothing significant. It kind of goes up and down to a degree, but it's not significant. It's not significantly 3-dimensional.
Right. Definitely right.
All right, let's go.
Sounds good to me.
I shall lead the way. He goes.
And I feel like during this time, theatrically, I'm still talking to Alaris. Or Uriel, sorry. So, without having a monologue by myself, just trying to knock her out of her funk. She seems a bit out of it.
Hey, guys. I smell smoke. I think smoke. Smells sulfur, maybe.
Sulfur? Can I make a check in the situations that you might smell sulfur? Is that like an alchemy only, or is that maybe a summoning?
Once you cross about this threshold, you can smell it. Make an Arcana check.
Anyone else know anything about sulfur?
Maybe little bits.
Let us. Maybe we should compare notes on sulfur.
All right.
Can I get advantage?
Can I get advantage? Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless. 12. Over the 10 hump.
Well, sulfur is a spell component in some fire-based spells. It is also a primary element of the plane of hell. And it's also a common element that you would find in the natural cave setting.
So either we hit a pocket of sulfur, or someone just threw a fireball moments before we showed up, or there might be a portal to hell somewhere nearby. Take it as you would. Is there any determination? Well, Asher discovered it.
Hey, you guys should take a look at this.
I'm assuming that's a pit of lava?
That is a book on fire.
A book on
fire?
Asher is immediately investigating this. Whether it be Arcana, investigation, he's just... Sorry. As soon.
Alaris as well. I guess I can give you advantage or whatever. I'll help.
And I would imagine.
I don't have any.
Imagine all three of us are. How. Do you want, Alaris? Do you want to take the lead on this?
Sure, I'll do it. Did you want a Arcana check, him, or an investigation? I don't know.
Let's do Arcana.
Okay. How dare they burn a book? Heathens.
Is the sulfur smell coming from this point? Like, can we tell it's much stronger? Okay.
Definitely originating here.
Heathens.
Did we try to put the fire out yet?
I don't have anything.
Calidorn!
You have something to put it out.
This is a magical
Trying to see if it's
means.
magic. Yeah.
You need to let us do our thing and investigate, and then we will determine the next course of action. You can't just put magical fire out.
The fire is magical in nature, and the book is some kind of magic tome, but it's difficult to read because it's on fire. But
Does the fire appear to be hot?
The weird thing is the book is not burning up. The fire's definitely hot.
Okay.
Okay,
But the book's not burning.
Like, you walked in on this book on fire. It probably has been sitting here on fire for a long time.
Calidorn, you can heal us, right?
I also can breathe cold air if you all step back.
You know what?
You can try it.
I will let this see how it plays out and step back.
I've been waiting.
Do it.
I'll get in and thank you, Alaris. And I will aim. Is the fire like suspended over the book, or does it look like an ethanol fire?
The book is like on fire. It looks kind of like it looks like the pages are burning without actually being consumed by the flame, basically. If that makes any sense.
Like an ethanol fire. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's how I understand it, at least. Like there's a substance on it. So the first thing I will
go ahead.
Is to use a spell slot.
Wait.
And
but Calidorn, I just had a thought.
Yes.
It worth asking. Alaris, I once saw Pebblekind. Well, not more. He actually used it all the time, to be more specific. But anyways, he could use a magical hand to grab things he needed when he was working on his alchemy or his spells to bring materials to him as he was working on it. You wouldn't happen to know a spell like that? I never took the time to learn it. I probably should have. It seemed very useful, but I never took the time to learn it. In hindsight, it seems kind of dumb, but yeah, not my repertoire.
Oh my god, I do have that. I thought I didn't have it. I do have that. So I'll cast Mage Hand.
Would you want to try and grab it before we waste
some? Absolutely. So
why don't you try closing it?
Okay, I use Mage Hand to try to close the book. Does that stop the fire?
Not really.
Okay. So then I grab the book
Caldul, come back!
and see if it
Look.
Oops.
does the fire move with the book.
Did Caldul actually?
I have not yet.
Okay. So yeah,
I don't want to burn Caldul or anything, but
the fire comes along with the book.
okay, I'm gonna put it back down. Okay, Caldul. That was a good idea, but yeah, it's not. It's just on fire,
Okay.
but not on fire.
I will try the Arctic breath tactic. At this point,
We must
and
save
just
it.
breathe, hold on it. Did that?
It seems like it was dying down for a moment and maybe gonna go out, but then it kind of flamed back up and turned back into the same fire it was before. You could see for a moment. Make a perception check. You could see some of the contents for a moment. How did you set it back down?
Can I?
Well, I closed it, so I set it back down. Closed.
What were you?
Probably.
What were you about to ask, Azun?
I was going to ask if I could also look, but he had already rolled the dice, so.
Yeah, you can look too. Everybody can do a perception.
I would assume Alaris would also, but if that's too meta, that's fine. I don't know if she has advantage or not.
On what?
Or not advantage. I don't know if she has proficiency or not. But being a wizard, I imagine she's entranced as well.
Oh yeah.
Take it or leave it. Me and her both rolled the same, so. Oh, even his two. How did he do that? Even using his character sheet, all of his rolls go straight to you. That's weird.
You have it on whisper by default, then, which
No,
I don't really care.
Well, no, I'm saying Azun's went. You see the 5 and 12, but his rolls went straight to you, and I still only used the character sheet. So he macroed that in somehow. I'm curious as to how he did that.
There's a option somewhere.
Yeah. Side note: don't let it debar us. It's just curiosity.
Hit the gear button in the character sheet, and it is in the right box.
Okay.
There's whisper rolls to GM.
Caldul, that was quite the breath. Yeah, I would have to get with you at some point and maybe compare. I know you don't necessarily, you work more on instinct, but I would love to reverse engineer that sometime, and we should really talk. There's so many applications I could use that.
That may be a possibility.
Have you ever considered, like, I don't really know how the whole druid thing works and concept, that kind of, but have you ever considered, the study of what you do?
Studying? Not necessarily.
You saw that on the front cover before it flamed back up.
Iterative aggregation, time travel, and pitfall.
Do you tell us that?
Yeah.
Alaris.
Yes.
Paramount that we bring this book with us. You have the repercussions of this book and the studies and advances it might conclude. I can't even be. We could spend all day talking about the ramifications of this, but it is so important. I mean, if we have to throw this book at every monster we find and catch them on fire, that may be the case, but it is paramount that we bring this book with us.
Use it as a portable fireball.
I mean,
No one wants to save this book more than me.
I want to save this book more than you. I could
No, you
share
don't.
hundreds of pages of notes on time travel and the applications of gravitational curve and the space-time continuum and the third dimension and the fourth dimension, and we haven't even talked about the fifth dimension.
Azun.
Well, yes, Azun. The
What?
sanctity of knowledge and all of that's great. We appreciate you, but we need to save this book. I don't have any spells that would help us.
You can grab this book with your mage hand. You can carry this behind us.
I could easily. I mean, I guess that's a way to do it.
We will solve the ramifications of the giant flaming sphere later, but this book cannot be left here. It is paramount that this book come with us until we can solve a way to reduce the flaming sphere of death.
If we could just dispel it, that'd be amazing. Okay, I will. It sounds crazy, but I kind of agree. We need to save this book.
I agree that we can bring it along. I can try to extinguish it again.
Does anyone? I mean, it's kind of nuts, but water? Do you think? I mean, I guess if it was started by magical means, it just wouldn't be able to be extinguished except by.
I would love
magical
to just
means.
shove this into water, but I cannot risk the ruining of the information that may be held in this book by shoving it into a waterfall. We have to address this as intellectuals. We cannot just willy-nilly this information away.
We will take it with us. On fire. 30 feet behind us.
That is an excellent idea. I concur. What do I see? I imagine I have straight line of sight.
Sorry, wrong thing.
Oh, okay, I saw it pop up and I was like, that's right in my...
Would you like me to attempt to put it out again?
I would love...
No, Savior.
I agree with Alaris. Having watched the process, I believe it's self-sustaining, and unless we can remove its source, it will continue regardless. I think the person that placed it here placed this as a protective magic as a stopgap so that not just any willy-nilly person down here could grab it. The fact that Alaris can use her spell to magically handle it is astronomical. I mean, just what are the odds that we'd come down here with someone that could do that? I mean, we're bypassing all the defenses they placed on this.
It's still on fire, though.
It is on fire.
Right.
What is it sitting on top of?
It's on like a podium, like a not an altar, but like a pedestal.
What's the pedestal made out of? Like metal?
Stone.
Okay.
All
right, here we go.
Can I suggest? Zune, you didn't click on yourself.
I definitely am. Oh, I'm not. I was just getting ahead of the storyline here. Said dude on 2 characters.
I would think we got the book. We got it off the pedestal. I assume.
Yes, I'm gonna hold it with my mage hand.
You picked it up off the pedestal with your mage hand, and then you set it back down, closed. So it's presently on the pedestal.
Okay. So we didn't take it off of the pedestal.
I did take it up. I picked it up.
Yep.
off the pedestal,
And then set it
and
back
then
down.
it was on fire still.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't move it enough. I don't know. But now,
I would think we should take a look at the pedestal itself.
So, question: when we saw her pick it up, did the flaming sphere follow it, or did it seem disconnected from the flaming sphere?
The book, again, it's like it's on fire, but it doesn't burn up or take any damage.
Right. So when she lifted it up off the pedestal, the flaming sphere rose in accordance.
Like if you could imagine
Okay.
picking up a book that's on fire and waving it around, it'll have a little bit of a trail,
Right.
where it's leaving some flames behind as it moves.
Right. So we know that the flaming sphere is attached to the book.
mm-hmm.
At this point, at least, we know that it's not the pedestal that's lighting on fire or whatever.
Yeah.
We know it's.
You keep saying
directly
flaming
attached
sphere.
to
I
the
don't
book.
want to give you the impression that it's a flaming sphere spell.
Right. I'm not sorry. Not to correlate with the flaming sphere spell, but the ball of fire raised in accordance with the center of the book. The book is directly admitting it. I don't know if this is a surprise round. I rolled initiative for both characters I'm controlling.
This is...
I don't know if we need... I will definitely say, regardless of my initiative roll, Azun is enwrapped by this book.
Let me get...
We are
Thank
missing
you.
an Asher roll.
I don't know if Asher would be more like,
I think
look
Asher
behind
is the
us,
one who is most
he doesn't give
likely
a
to
fuck about
notice
it.
this.
Right.
I think he's a little more worldly.
Yeah. Being a mercenary.
I would pay attention as well if I wasn't trying to blow a house down.
Asher...
Huffing and puffing and all that.
It's a big bad wolf encounter. We'll randomly target a
lot of
player
fun.
and you have to kite it around.
Randomly target a player. Strength saving throw.
Anybody that's ever played WoW, TBC, will understand that reference.
Yeah, no.
Let me get a perception check from Uriel.
From Uriel. Make sure I'm the right person. Yep.
Okay, Uriel is aware of these incoming vermin and can act.
Alright. Let me see what this spell does. One creature. She is going to cast Grease. 10-foot square center on a point. So 10-foot square would be one square out from point of origin, correct? Yeah, alright. So she's going to cast Grease right here to cover basically the entire entry point.
Grease. Got it.
So she sees all these monsters gathering at the entry point, and she is going to try to stop them. Oh, so would it be 10-foot square, like, from a square? Or okay, so it's like that. It's not from a center square. It's 2 by 2.
That's what I've always interpreted as.
Oh.
Yeah,
10 foot
that's fine.
square.
Yep, that works. It accomplishes the same goal. I just was always
Okay, is
curious
this
on
a
that wording.
pig fat spell?
She has oil. I gave her a vial of oil. Let me see if she wrote it in her inventory, because we did it at the Goblin camp. So she should have a vial of oil, and she only needed a drop. Yeah, she has oil written in here. So she only needed a drop of oil to use as the base of her grease spell. So I imagine she's using it again because it's readily available. And it's what we had pre-planned once before, so she will go back on the known and true.
Cool. Okay. No problem. So, and she does have pork fat as well.
And so she does that. And she will also move here to take cover.
Okay. Then if she is done, it is Azun's turn.
And Azun... so line of sight question.
Oh, I need
is that little
perception first before Azun can act.
Perception. Makes sense.
Maybe at disadvantage. Perception. Well, that's 4 is pretty low anyway.
Yeah, I don't know why it rolled twice.
So I'm going to say Azun is going to be flat-footed for this round.
Makes perfect sense. He's been wrapped by this book we're talking about.
That might affect him or it might not. We'll see what happens. Grease.
That's a fail. I don't know if Grease is her spell DC or a known spell DC, but her spell DC.
Yeah, it's got it at the bottom of the description. If everything's set up right, it should pop the DC right along with the spell.
Oh, yep, I see it now.
Yep. And that brings us to Calidorn. So, perception check for Calidorn. Ooh.
Well,
you are very perceptive.
Would it, if it changes anything, that perception check is a 6, I think. 3 plus 1. Yeah, nope, sorry. Wrong thing. That's my initiative.
Okay. So yeah, Calidorn can act for sure.
Okay. Probably would have heard Uriel make some sort of noise or another. I will. No, those are good options.
If we are surprised, can we make a reaction roll? Or action... a reaction turn in the round?
If you're surprised, you cannot move or take an action on the first turn of combat, and you cannot take a reaction until that turn ends.
Okay. So my turn's end. Can I take a reaction after that point? Okay. Just wanted to make sure for a later scenario.
$60 feet. Okay.
In older versions of the game, it was possible to be surprised for more than one round.
Yeah, that's... I rarely deal with tunes that have reactions that are like the Time Wizards.
But while you're in the
Need a little guidance there.
But while you're in the surprised state, you cannot react.
Until
Are
my
these
turn.
are these two creatures? They're not snapped onto the grid. Like I'm trying to measure. Maybe I can just do it that way. I can just do it that way. Never mind. They're not within 5 feet of each other.
Are they intended to be 1 square apart? Do they look like they're in adjacent squares?
Yeah, they're within 5 feet of each other.
Okay. In that case, I will move myself to there and cast Ice Knife on. Stop it. The wolf spider in the back. Targeting that one.
Okay.
At level 1. Did it? Nope. Roll. Okay. Now it rolled.
So that's
13 to hit.
and then it's
Is
9, 12, so it's like a lot of damage.
it's 9 on the spell attack against that spider, and then a DC 14 dex save. If they succeed the save, they take no other
Okay,
damage.
well, 13 doesn't hit the spider, and this giant centipede has 4 hit points, so it's dead.
Well, if you, I mean, you can roll the save for it. I'm not upset with that, because if it passes the dex save, it doesn't
But
take
it
the
would die
cold
from the
damage.
piercing damage.
It doesn't take the piercing. Only the target does. If it hits the target, it takes the piercing. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so that kills the centipede. And let's see. And the wolf spider saves against the cold damage. So that wolf spider is looking pretty
Unaffected.
I'm gonna chronal shift that. Son of a bitch. So you see Azun kind of glows slightly green, rolls his hand. He rolls his right hand across his left wrist in a very Doctor Strange manner for theatrical means. And you see a bunch of arcane runes run, and you see the monster kind of rewind, and then still complete the action.
Still, it's awesome though.
But it's the first time you've ever seen this kind of weird magic come out of him.
That is a pass. Sure. Hunter's Mark and attack with the longbow.
Eight total.
Poop sticks. Giant centipede. A 9 doesn't hit.
We're having a great time.
Oh, okay, I see how this works. Oh, he rolled a 2. That's how he got 7. The last one that crossed the path, what was its save?
This guy?
Yeah, no, the one I just
He just
saw move.
saved
This one.
at. He just failed to save at 4.
Okay, so he makes the full movement, or does he stop?
I
in the
was
first spot he hits the
understanding that
grease?
he stops when he hits the grease. If he fails his save, he falls prone.
Okay.
I don't exactly know how a giant
I
centipede
just
can
saw him
fall
out.
prone or a spider, but I guess they're just kind of spinning around in a circle like I'm doing donuts on an icy parking lot or something.
I can explain this one easily. He came in this way, came in fast, crashed against the wall, and fell
Yeah.
prone right here.
He just drifted and missed.
I just saw him move through the grease, and I was like, well, did I miss that save?
Yeah. You ever lost your balance with one foot,
Yeah.
and it causes one other foot to fall? Well, that guy loses balance in one foot, and he's got 99 more to fall.
You talk about
Lars,
not
it's your
paying
turn.
attention.
All right. So, let me grab it.
Not to be that guy, but perception check.
Yeah, you got a perception check.
Perception. Okay.
I honestly don't remember if Asher made
We
perception
decided
check.
he was watching.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Unless he missed
Okay.
anyway,
Okay, you can act.
Whoop, whoop. All right, so I'm gonna move up here. And I'm going to cast Shatter. And it's a 10-foot
Oh boy.
radius. And to try to get at least these 3. I don't know if this guy right here that's closest to us will get in it. But I'll try to knock these 3 out.
Kind of like
Fourth
that.
tool down on the far left skip.
The 4th tool.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
that's like a circle with a line in it. You can pick your point and kind of see. So, like I'm
Yeah, I
doing
don't
right
think he's
here. But you can kind of, if you want to measure your center point, so that you can be like, I
Let me
want
try to get it. Snap to corner. Yeah, I think actually I guess if I do it there, and if it's a 10-foot, no, he wouldn't get it. It's not gonna get this guy. Not that I can see. Unless you count this, it's kinda like at the edge. It's a tough call, I don't know.
whatever you're doing. I think you have hidden. So if you
Yeah, I have it hidden.
Okay, I was gonna say, so the rest of us can't see it.
So,
to
like
help you there.
here, if I do it here, it's kind of like at the edge of this here, because I have it snapped to the corner. So
do snap to center, which is the top option in that.
oops.
So like top option.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so that'll give you more. Because if you're placing it on a creature, it's like the center of the creature. The snap.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I do have it.
Yeah.
I go this guy in the middle. Boom. All right, so we'll get all 4 of them.
the snap to corner is more used for determining
Like
coverage.
movement. Okay.
Well, like, so if they have cover, can you snap corner to corner in 2 points with line of sight, or is one blocked and one not? That's half cover kind of thing.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's go forth. Cast the spell. Second level. Oh, that's great. 8. Sucks. Anyway, that's fine. DC is 13, so they all
Which one's the
get
first
it.
one? Wait, sorry, which one is this one right here?
I don't understand what you're asking.
On the DC save list, there's 3 DC saves. Which one is this one right here? If I wanted to chronal shift, which one would this
I guess
be?
it wouldn't really matter, but that would be 14.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna chronal shift it. I'm gonna make him reroll.
No!
No, careful.
Ah, he takes full damage.
Nice.
Can you chronal shift me falling out of my chair?
You
So,
alright?
You all
again,
right there?
So you see,
Yep.
you
Just
see-
embarrassed.
so you see a Zune, you see the creature not take the damage, and then all of a sudden you see the wave kind of shift backwards, and you see a Zune again making the same motion, and then when the wave hits him the second time, it takes full damage. It fully eats the blasts, and does whatever happens next.
Okay, it is Uriel's turn now.
Just eats the full blast.
Uriel is going to. So these are creatures. And with these being creatures, yeah, is going to move to here and is going to toll the dead on the front one. Which is a 1d12 necrotic. Which it saves against, so I don't think it matters. And then is going to move back into cover.
Okay. Rolling kinda hot. Azun, your turn.
Azun has no qualms with killing creatures. Azun is going to move up for a good line of sight. So question, this creature failed its save on the grease? Is it in the grease?
This one?
Because you moved it to there, and that was the one I asked about if it passed or not, and you said it failed, but you never moved it back to
I thought that was the centipede.
So I
The
didn't.
centipede that died from the shatter.
Oh,
Because
that's
I
what
would have
happens.
put a boot icon on it if it failed.
Okay. I missed that. I thought it was this one the whole time. Okay, that's gonna change a little bit of what he's doing, I think. Give me a second here. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, shoot.
Thought there might be 2 creatures in the grease. No, it's really not. I'm going to shoot a firebolt, but not at the creature, but at the grease.
Okie dokie.
Nice grease fire.
I don't know if that affects. Do I need to roll damage, or does it not matter, or what?
Um,
24 to hit to light the
yeah,
grease.
so it's on fire.
And my hope, I don't know if it matters, but my hope is to startle the creatures in front of it by the sudden blazing fire behind them. Whether that imposes some kind of effect on what they do, or if they're startled or what, by the bright grease light. But that's my hope.
Calduel. I think the only effect it's really going to have is they're going to try to get away from it.
Okay. And then as a movement,
sorry.
I'm going to move a few feet back. Yep, that's just to finish my turn. I'm just going to move a few feet back.
Okay.
I will step forward and take two-handed swing at the spider right in front of me.
Ouch.
And
That stinks.
That's my turn. So I have no bonus actions. Right. That spider, though, when it moves within my range, I can use a reaction.
Okay.
And I will use it to deal 1d4 necrotic damage to it unless it succeeds on a con saving throw.
Okay.
So, that's a DC 14 Constitution save.
For theatrical purposes, is this spider like crawling across the wall? Horizontal at 5 feet.
It's on the floor. That one's on the floor.
It takes 3 necrotic damage.
Okay.
You see a little bluish green glow, and float out of me and sting it real quick. And that's all I've got for reactions. So now it gets to attack.
Does a 14 hit you?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Alright, the next one will bite again. Nope. And
hell yeah, brother.
I think Asher is going to move in. And Hunter's mark the spider. And
didn't he already Hunter's mark this?
It may have been a different one. I can't really swear to it. And he.
I was to say he can move it as a bonus action as opposed to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as opposed to having to recast the spell, even if the creature died.
Ilaris.
Oh, right. Move up here. I should be able to see this creature from here, or do I need to go up further?
I think you need to move up one more.
Like up, like here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna send out a firebolt at it. Firebolt. Oh,
Hell yeah!
that's a hit for 3.
Congratulations.
Okay, anything else?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna move up here a little further. That's it.
Okay. Then, whoops, I skipped Uriel. Okay, Uriel.
Uriel having no qualms on creatures, not humanoid, is going to move to here. And, oh, wrong character sheet. Toll the Dead again. Which is taking damage, so if it fails, it's a 1d12.
It
That meets her save,
passed.
so I don't know if that's a fail or succeed.
That's a pass.
Yes.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3. She is then going to move her.
Okay, Azun.
Can Azun see the spider from here?
Not directly, no.
So he knows people are attacking something, so he's going to move to here, and I assume he can see it there.
Yes.
17 firebolt.
And that will kill him. Or her. You're not the best at identifying spider genders.
It. Let's be real, it's a spider. It's an it. Guys, I know we came down here to explore this cavern, but this book, this could be a true a relic from a time lost. I believe it is. I mean, the creatures that came from below were not goblins. They were creatures of the deep. If goblins were exploring and traveling these tunnels regularly, they have not come this far, or else these creatures wouldn't be here. I think we should take this book and head back to the surface and reevaluate where we stand. I mean, this book is a treasure. There's no telling the information that's in here could change what we know.
This could be something that we don't get to keep.
Maybe. But think, even if someone else claims it, imagine the reward for us bringing it to them. I mean, they would be indebted to us. Time travel, think about it. You could go back and put your stocks in Amazon. And, I mean, that is...
What is this Amazon you speak of?
Really? And this... You've never heard of Amazon?
Stockades? Why would we put stockades in?
Oh my god, have you both been living in a forest in the middle of nowhere? Every nation...
Yes, actually.
...deals with... Oh, I apologize.
On a ship, but yes.
So, every nation has their own magical delivery system, but Amazon is the leading competitor in this. They would kill for this kind of knowledge. They could go back in time and rewrite history to completely dominate their market. I mean, that's just on the small scale. Think about what a king or an empire would pay for this kind of knowledge. We are holding a true treasure of technology. And if we lose sight of it now, I mean, we're losing a kingdom here. I really think we should take what we got. Maybe one day we come back, but we should really bring this back and solve this riddle.
But if what you say is true, and it can give anybody the power to change the past, what does that do for the current?
Look, I would love to debate time travel and its possibilities, but unless you've got, and he kind of looks around, roughly a month, I can't even begin to.
Oh,
Room full of gold coins, thousands of pounds of gold, and then saying, "What's the treasure? This right here is what you're hoping to find in every adventure. This is what makes legends."
It could also make any one of us not exist, if I understand.
I'm not saying what we have to do with it. I'm just saying don't lose the opportunity by being greedy. What if we go?
I agree with that. I just think we shouldn't rush to bring it out.
So we pick a safe location to store it. I don't. As long as we get it out of here, everything else is conversational. But I don't want to go deeper and find some crazy. I mean, look at the spiders that just crawled out of there. There's something bigger and badder. There's always something bigger and badder than. That's how the ecosystem works. I don't want to die to the bigger and badder thing and lose this to time and history.
It has. Either somebody placed it here or it has been lost. And, spiders aren't known for their reading abilities.
Exactly. So it's been.
This does seem to be a place where it might possibly be safe to leave it. Not when you want to look into it. I agree, but in the meantime of while we do something
So what
to
if
find a safe place.
what if we're not the first people to think about that? What if they went deeper and died? It's still lost. That's the being greedy. This is the treasure. I know it doesn't look like a pile of gold or a relic or a giant sacred tree, but this is the sacred tree. The possibilities of what this book could tell you alone could redefine everything we know, and we have right now the decision to make on it.
I agree with you that we should bring it. I just am not sure that we should prioritize it at this very second.
Do you not think that maybe around here there's more information about how we can maybe there's more in this ruin?
Exactly.
I mean, this could be one book. It could be a whole entire library of books or other things down here. And I think we should bring it, but it is on fire. It's dangerous as well. So I mean, it's not an easy feat.
It's not easy to bring it out. I'm not saying don't come back
also,
down here.
We don't know what's in it. You're saying it's the Holy Grail, but how do we know it's the Holy Grail of everything that we ever wanted about time travel?
I have to refresh. I'm having some hiccups here.
I'm not saying it's the Holy Grail, but I'm saying we can leave with this now, and only we know what this cave is. If there's a library, nobody else knows where it is. We can come back and find more. But do you really want to walk out with the Holy Grail and risk that? If this is the redefining point of our lives, think about where you came from. What real riches have any of us known? What real avenues for development and discovery have we had? I don't know about you, but I work with parchment and what I can scrounge up. What can I do with a lab? A tower? I mean, could you imagine any one of us with our own ability to just explore and do what we wish? This is that opportunity. Calidorn, what did you say the cover of it was again?
I have it here.
It's in our
Well,
SOP.
while I look that up, I do have to comment that that background music, while you were going off there, makes you sound like the bad.
I know.
You seem like the bad guy right now.
I know. It really set the tone. I was going for like, don't be greedy, and he went with, you're the bad guy. Resist it.
Yeah. Azun, the book was on the creation and navigation of time travel and its pitfalls.
Exactly.
But
it's not only how to time travel.
Do we know who the brand? Huh?
We got incoming.
Oh, okay.
And your conversation is cut short.
Yeah. Ooh.
Where am I at? Oh, well.
Oh, that's right. You changed out of Blade Singer, so you don't have... Still have a boost.
Still good.
Yeah. Am I seeing why you have 2 rolls, Azun?
No, I've got to figure out why it's doing that. It did it earlier, but then the next roll it didn't do it, so it's kind of weird. I was thinking,
do you have advantage for some reason?
No, I don't have advantage.
Not with initiative.
I don't have advantage. I just have...
My guess would be it's just a roll 20 hiccup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's... Sorry, I need to change that. It's the 11. Let me double check it. Yeah, it's the 11.
Asher just really gets...
Yeah, the only thing I get as the Time Wizard is I get my intelligence modifier plus my dex modifier on my initiative roll instead of just my dex modifier.
Yeah. I just wondered for some reason if it's kind of goofing, and if it thinks you have some kind of dex roll advantage.
No, it did it somewhere weird earlier, and I just ignored it. And I thought maybe it was a hiccup, but now if it's continuing to do it, I'll have to go in and look and find out why.
Yeah, I thought you might have done it twice on you instead of rolling for Uriel accidentally, but...
And it might just be lag. It might just be I click it at the same point that Roll20 is lagging from input, because Roll20 does not have a high server dedication. So... God, I feel like we have to be having an epic fight in this music. This is some...
It is epic.
This is some from 2 Steps from Hell shit right here. I bet it is if I go and look in the groove bot. Where's that at?
Mr. Pickles is coming after you. This is epic.
I could see that floating down there, and I really am interested to see what is about to happen.
Mr. Pickles?
Yeah, you can't get much more epic than that.
Mr.
I'll
Pickles.
Which did Asher target? Did he target the one that's in front of him now?
He targeted one and shot him and killed him.
Okay.
Now some relaxing, epic shit like.
So I will
Flying over a lake with surrounded by huge mountains and serene mist.
That or having an epic conversation in front of a cliff hill, oceanic, serene visual.
Got him. Okay.
What is the purpose of life? Cue waves crashing against the cliffside.
Bless you.
Thank you.
The warrior running in and then cue in heavy battle music is the next cue. Like, I don't. Right there. He's going in with like the heavy moral background, straight out of some anime shit. It's golden.
It sounds like the music for an MMO I want to play.
Right. If you ever need that music in your life, 2 Steps from Hell playlist, just play it.
Mm-hmm.
2 Steps from Hell is in every movie or MMO you like. I promise you, you can find their music. They are the top notch of orchestrated music industry for animation, theatrical, like whatever. They are at the top of their game. You've heard their music somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I'll play 2 Steps from Hell 4-hour playlist all the time.
Oh, there's the hobgoblin. I see it now.
If the DM's looking for orchestrated theatrical music, there's where to go.
We start with a...
It is Uriel's turn.
Uriel's been quiet. Uriel's been just some goblins. Okay. Is this creature heavily damaged?
No.
Has not been touched.
Well, it depends on your definition of heavily.
Whatever.
Is heavily before or after 50%?
Whatever the DM tells me. Does it look rough? Does it look untouched?
No, it's touched, but it's not about to die.
Alright,
Yeah.
so it looks bruised and beaten.
Yeah.
So 10, 20, 30. Does it see this one right here? Or is that cutting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see that.
And how's that one looking?
Brand new.
Brand new. That's right up Uriel's alley.
Nice and fresh.
Nice and fresh. I don't even know how this spell works. Cause fear. Concentration.
Ooh. Wisdom saving throw. That is the goblin's strong point right there. The bad choice on your part. Oh my god, he actually saved.
I was gonna
That's
say, is that
stupid.
actually a strong point for goblins?
No, it's at -1.
Yeah.
And
Alright,
of course, what did he roll? A 19.
so that was all 30 movement and her spell, so that's Uriel's go. As a bonus action, we'll continue to stand still.
Okay, then Azun.
And then Azun. And then the great Azun.
Apparently, my
Yeah, that's
cat
not gonna
enjoys mashed potatoes and gravy.
Just gonna move here,
Sure.
and
Do you like mashed potatoes and gravy too? Buttercup says yes.
There was some in my dinner, and she decided to prop herself up and go to town.
Oh,
looking
yeah,
good.
yeah.
fuck. I have detect magic. I could have cast that shit ritually. Looking at two different wizard spell lists, I was
Very,
like,
very few wizards don't have detect magic. I imagine everybody has it.
yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
I thought it too, but I immediately looked at all my red dots and I put detect magic in my ritual cast, so I skipped it when I scanned quickly. But I have now noticed it. Yeah, we're just gonna. So this one right here has seen better days,
Yeah, for sure.
and the Almighty Azun is going to see that person, and he is going to.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Uriel, but detect magic should be on the list.
Firebolt for 1 damage. If it dies, I swear to God, this wizard's gonna have a complex.
Okay. Here comes Mr. Pickles.
So it lived.
It lived.
First creature
I'm
in a
gonna
while.
shoot at Asher, and I will hit Asher for 6 damage.
Let me.
Ilaris.
I'm gonna measure from me to Mr. Pickles real. All right, too far.
Mr. Pickles.
Well,
Come down here.
Is he within
So-
10 feet of me?
he's within
Yes,
10
he
feet.
is.
Okay. Then I'll do the con throw reaction.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh.
It's just if he succeeds above, if he beats a 14.
Negative.
I don't know why your
so
measurement
3
tool is
necrotic.
so weird.
Okay. Ilaris. Your turn.
Which one did
It's
Calidorn?
your turn. Which one? What now?
Which one did Calidorn just hit? The one
This
right
one.
there? Okay, cool.
Mr. Pickles took damage for getting too close to me.
I'm gonna do a firebolt at this one that had already, not Mr. Pickles, the other guy. Mr. Relish. I don't know. 4.
He dead.
He
He
did.
is all burned up.
Hell yeah, girl.
And
Outta
anything
here.
else for Ilaris?
I'm gonna peek back around this corner. Wait, how much movement do I have? Let me see. Did you?
Usually 30. I think it's.
I think
probably 30.
I think I'm out of movement. I'm I'll be done.
30 is definitely the standard unless you have feats.
So I didn't know how much movement I took initially when I moved over there. That's all.
Do you know where you started at?
Well, I don't know. It's
Not
not
really.
tournament D&D.
It's okay. It's not really.
Tournament D&D.
It's okay. Just don't worry. Don't worry about it. I'm just stay right
Don't
here.
question it. We're doing it. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's fine.
Hell yeah, girl.
Let's have Asher fire, move his hunter's mark, and fire another shot from his longbow at Mr. Pickles.
That
And that is going to
lands.
kill him.
It's gonna fuck him up for 10 damage.
And I'm going to kind of get back a little bit, so I'll maybe stop taking damage. Calidorn, you next.
He's within my range. Oh. Close the gap.
Truth has got me in a spot.
And I will melee attack. It's 17 to hit for 5.
Okay.
That will be my turn, but I will do the reaction again when the hobgoblin starts his turn.
He catches the edge just in time with his sword.
Ooh.
And
Wait.
he is going to...
He made an AC save against the 17.
well, it's not really a save, but a 17 doesn't hit.
Okay.
And he is going to throw down his longbow, which... Does that provoke an attack of opportunity? Throwing down the longbow and picking up the longsword? I think it does. Go ahead and take an attack of opportunity, if you want.
I had already stated I was going to use my reaction to do the Halo of Spores, so I'll stick with that. Another Constitution save. That's the whole paragraph again. Alright.
10.
He fails, so I'll get another... 2 on him.
I don't think that hits you.
It no longer does.
Alright, so it is Uriel's turn.
Uriel. Fuck, where did I place her last?
She is right
there, I
here.
see her. So, going to move 15. This guy's taking damage, right? He's looking kind of rough, or...
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, he's
That's not what I meant.
Shrugging it off as best he can.
Alright.
But he's
Toll the dead.
He's gonna feel it in the morning at least. That is a wisdom save. Okay, let's see. How is he gonna do on a wisdom save? That is a fail.
So 1d12. Let's see if Tola Dead is in.
Snap. And he is dead with that.
Dang, son.
Oh, okay. He died. He deaded. I moved 2, so... Do we see more creatures? No. Apparently not.
That's it.
Cool.
And if we... And Azun is going to go back towards the book.
I don't think there's anything more to be gained right here, right now, says Asher. Your choices are pick it up with the mage hand and carry it along, or leave it here. I imagine it's on fire so nobody could touch it, and it's probably been sitting there on fire for could be centuries for all we know, and nobody's touched it. So
But
chances are nobody's gonna touch it.
But we know there's a druid in the area.
So pick it up or don't. Just stop discussing it to death.
There's a druid that we know in the area that may or may
Asher
not be
talking.
able to stop the fire. And once we can stop the fire, we have no idea what we might find. I mean, I'm not saying don't explore the tunnel. I'm just saying don't be greedy about it all in one go. What do we have to lose?
Do you want to bring it with us right now, or do you want to leave it?
I want to take it to the surface and discover what it is, and then
just
determine
go.
if it's whether to come back down here for more.
Azun,
Do you want
I
to
have
leave
to
right now?
present an issue we already have. We got tracked and found by some wizard and those that he hires. It would be nothing.
Trapped?
Yeah, what's the trap part?
You got trapped?
I trapped the owl.
Tracked. I think I tried to say
tracked. Okay. That's much different.
Yeah. By someone we didn't know, who tried to take a magical item just off you. This thing is more than a magic knife.
The book is leaving us.
Where we are.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm just getting it ready to carry.
It's walking away, guys.
It just starts
we
flying
should follow
away.
it.
We have to go.
So there is nothing to say that they didn't know this was here, and that they're not waiting outside to kill us.
Maybe, but I handled
and
that
take
owl
it
handedly.
when it was on an owl.
I don't give a fuck what it was. It was my bitch. That's why she woke up all pissy and handed us the letter like she was some snob. There was a higher power that just got shown up one. Because that's exactly what happened.
You did show her up. That doesn't breed people's
we have to get out of here.
Like it.
Exactly.
We can't stay here.
We have to get out of here. Every time we sit here, like, just what
We just got attacked twice. We have to go.
What do we lose? Taking this to the surface, finding its value, finding our kingdom, and then coming back and saying, what else?
You're
we
not
lose
finding
nothing.
a kingdom.
What do you know about time travel? And you see Azun, like, start to physically lose his shit. What do you know about time travel? Exactly. Tell me. What part of gravitational pull and interdimensional travel and fourth and fifth dimension, what part of that do you understand? And he just goes on a tirade, like, until you stop him, he just walks his shit.
I'll just stand there.
We can't just stay here, so we can take it. Well, let's vote then, or in amongst the three of us. You want to take it with us and leave the tunnel, or leave it here and come back later?
I vote take it to the surface. Find out what we got. We've got this fucking heavy ass plate metal, and we've got this book of untoned fortune.
Okay. We can take it. I vote let's take it to the surface. I think it's a very interesting book. Before we go, is there anything written on this pedestal?
No.
No.
Really.
Okay, cool.
Nothing you can find.
Now,
is there anything I can find with the pedestal? And I tell the group, fine, I'll meet you halfway. I will ritual cast detect magic on the pedestal, on the book, obviously, because it's within range. Just what's going on, and I'm assuming that's after the mage hand has moved the book off the pedestal so that I can clearly distinguish the two.
Okay. So, make a perception check.
That'll go over great. 19.
There is no magic radiating from the pedestal. Obviously, the book and the fire involve magic.
So,
However, what you notice is that there is a strong aura of magic coming out of the room to the northeast.
Oh,
the northeast.
up here.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we should check that.
Northeast, which
Big shiny rainbow.
Maptually northeast, not necessarily true northeast. Over in this direction.
This big rainbow.
I didn't see it. It didn't load.
So okay. So 2 questions. I don't know all the colors. Discerning, detecting like light green, dark blue, whatever.
Well, I see all of them.
I don't know off the top of my head each school of magic. What school of magic is radiating off the book, and what school of magic is radiating off to the northeast?
On the book, it is abjuration,
Okay.
and to the northeast, so abjuration is orange.
Okay.
To the northeast, it's purple, which is illusion, and pink, which is invocation, as well as divination, which is blue, and conjuration, which is whitish green.
Okay, there's a lot of shit going off to the northeast. Going back to the orange, does orange follow chronomancy, or is it pure abjuration?
Abjuration encompasses protective spells. They create a physical or magical barrier. I should have made you give me an Arcana check. I guess you'd probably know that. Negate magical or physical abilities, harm trespassers, or banish the subject of the spell to another plane of existence.
So I'm seeing that as the protective field around the book, or am I seeing that as like the book emanating in of itself abjuration?
I don't know if you could really make that distinction easily, but give me a perception check.
Can we use my 19 from earlier?
It's a different perception.
I had to try.
It's all good.
20! Use my 20 from right now.
See what happens? You see what happens? Yeah, this is protection on the book. Like,
Okay.
It's there to protect the book.
Gotcha.
As to where'd it go? I know what he was trying to ask. I think were you asking what school the chronomancy magic would belong to?
Not necessarily. I assume I know what school of magic and could recognize chronomancy or dunamancy, whichever it falls under in this world. But I was asking if the book itself radiated that or if it was something else, in which this case, also I registered is the protective ward. Kind of like a stained glass in front of an image. I can't see what the image is in its true form. All I can see is the stained glass surrounding it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because I heard you at the beginning of that asking about the orange and chronology and stuff like that. I grabbed the book real quick. So if you wanted an answer on that, I can actually provide it.
I wouldn't. Azun would not say what he discovered from his detect magic unless it pertained to furthering the knowledge. So I would say.
Gotcha. I was only I'm giving this out of character wise.
Right,
If
and
you didn't, okay.
so from a book aspect, he looked at the book and said, "Okay, it's protected around the field. Anything past the field doesn't matter right now until I get past it. But the rainbow shit going on to the northeast, he's going to
That's just
describe in
a
detail."
that's just a what's the word I'm looking for? Like, don't take that too literally. It's just something to illustrate that there is a magical aura.
Right, and I'm just saying he would describe like, I'm seeing a rainbow of magic to the northeast. There is a blaring sun rainbow over here. We need to go check this shit out. Not it, and he would describe it in a way that you wouldn't understand the different schools of magic. He would just be like, I see this and I see that, and there's this, and there's an intertwining of this, and if you look over here, I don't even know how they're connecting this in, but somehow this is being, it would just be like a rambling of arcane information that wouldn't necessarily make sense to anybody without training. But he's kind of looking at the source at this point. He's just like, this is magnificent. This is ages beyond what I could do, and it is intriguing and interesting, and he is totally enamored with it. And whatever comes from going this direction is what happens. He's gonna press his hand against the wall, actually.
Is
Oh,
there
give me just a moment. I've got the wrong icon in here. Is what in the wall?
So
is there
there's
a wall?
there's a definitive wall.
The walls
here.
the walls are pretty much what you get. No, that's not a wall. This is just rubble that opens into the area that you see behind
Okay,
here.
and he is going to this. So I have detect magic for 10 minutes. Whatever the source of magic is what I'm moving towards.
Okay, this is the source of magic right here.
I am moving towards it. I am investigating. I'm using my total mind persona against whatever this is.
You do notice that shit. Why is it giving me that?
Well, I don't want to find shit.
It's not giving me what I asked for. Whatever. Okay. So, this here is illusion, divination, and conjuration summoning. And the invocation aura is coming from over here.
Oh, I'm
Asher
rusty.
does not have proficiency in investigation.
I'm super rusty. Invocation is the attack side of magic?
No, I'm typing in invocation and it keeps giving me evocation because reasons, I don't know why.
Evocation is how it's.
Evocation is the attack side of magic.
Okay, so that's definite. Like, I would interpret that as a trap.
It,
At first glance, without any deep diving, I'd be like, that's probably a trap.
Yeah,
until
okay,
look more
I got
deep.
it. So invocation is like channeling divine powers is what that's about. invoking
Yeah.
the wrath of the gods, or invoking the power of the stars or something
Is
like
it?
that.
Yeah, evocation
Right, so I had it right.
is.
Asher, don't touch
Evocation is mostly the attack spells.
It's a
that.
lot of
Asher,
elemental stuff.
Yeah.
If
don't
that
touch that.
translates over.
And then what were the 3 divinations coming from the chest in front of me?
It was divination, illusion, and conjuration summoning.
So, okay.
I'm still a goblin.
Those are all pretty self-explanatory. I want to invest. I want to.
And there is a blue and multicolored gem sitting on the top of the pedestal here, where the source of the magic is radiating from. It's got different facets to it, like it's mostly blue, housed in a multicolored what's the word I'm looking for? Like encasement or something.
Laris, come over here.
Yes, I am coming.
What do you think this is? And I want to make an investigation check against the chest I'm standing in front of.
Pedestal?
Pedestal. With the
And I
gem.
will help him.
Okay. All right, go ahead with advantage.
19.
Yeah, 19 either way. Okay, so this gem is a magic item that will create some kind of link with something else. Make an Arcana check.
Hilarious. What do you think about this? Can I make Arcana with advantage?
Yeah, as long as you're both proficient, which I believe
Yes. Oh,
Wow.
man.
The turn.
poop sticks.
Wow.
This gem will summon demons.
This is
no.
This is some dangerous shit right here. So, here's my thought. Hear me out. Now, I'm not necessarily a professional, but I've watched Pebblekind work on some serious magical. I mean, like things that would blow. He's shown me the math, and I was just, boo. And you see Azun like kind of touch the top of his head and make like a large arc. He's like, it was just out there. This is clearly gonna go badly, but seeing as we're exploring, and I assume we're dragging the tome around with us with your mage hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. So I have an idea. Let's all back away. So are all these chambers like closed, or are they open doorways / chambers? Like, are there doors?
They have just archways leading into the.
So my thought is set the tome by the gem and have the mage hand grab the gem after we are all hidden and see what happens. Worst case, something pops up, burns to a crisp. We handle it. It's all okay. We have the gem in hand, trap handled. That's an educated guess. Take it as you will. It's the best I got offhand, unless you want me to study this thing for a couple days.
Uriel is for this plan. And if Uriel is for this plan, then Asher is for this plan.
I got 2 votes.
Okay, and it
yes.
seems like most of us are for the plan. I definitely want us to remain very safe here trying to do this. So, I'm gonna back away.
So let's all move into our independent rooms or bunk up.
What is in this room right here? What is this in this right
This
here?
is a chest of drawers. So, like a dresser.
Oh, okay. It didn't have. Well, I wouldn't know, but Zoom didn't see anything. I guess he didn't say
Zoom
anything about it.
He didn't.
Actually, I would say we swap places because you need to be within 30 feet of your mage hand.
Am I further than 30 feet?
Yeah, you're.
I'll come in the spot. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah, if you're within here, you're safely within distance. Yeah, you're safely within distance.
I'll come in here. That's fine.
So I'll hide here, and we'll place the tome right where the gem is.
I guess we should probably be on this side.
Well, it doesn't matter. Just be
if it's magic, it'll hit us.
Blast radiant, anything comes out of that, and
then I'm gonna whisper outside my doorway. All right, Uriel, go ahead and grab the gem and start to pull it towards you, and then duck back behind the doorway.
Okay, so the mage hand has the gem, and nothing is happening.
I'm gonna step out of my doorway. Uriel
picks up the gem out of the mage hand and starts examining it.
I'm gonna step right back into the doorway.
She says, I think this is similar to our kyanite silicate crystals. However, this is the Isis silicate, which means it includes a visual image.
Oh.
But what is this other stuff about?
What do you mean? And he's going to...
There's no demon summoning to it, or if there is, all it will summon is an image of the demon.
Azun is going to reach for the gem. Is Uriel going to stop him?
No, she'll let him examine it, because she thinks it's safe.
Once he gets a hold of it, he's going to mentally focus on it and push his arcane focus into the gem, attempting to reach out like a normal communication gem, but with force.
Roll Arcana.
Come on, dice.
And Uriel will help.
Okay, 18.
You need to tap it.
Well,
grab your crystal and tap it.
Okay. Well, yeah. If that was the, I'm assuming I'm taking ownership of the gem and I'm trying to assert my will through it. So, whatever it's tapped through, I'm trying to tap through. However that method may be, whether I have to tap my gem to it and claim ownership or whatever. But that was the intent.
Okay, so when you tap it with your crystal, it sort of like lights up and kind of glows and hums with some different bells and whistles and stuff. And you hear a voice through your crystal that says, say the command word, begin presentation on dimensional transport to see presentation.
Azun, what's happening out here?
He just holds up a finger. Pauses. What would the word be for the rune that represents arcane dimensional transport? Whatever that word would be is what he'll say.
Okay.
So, like, there's a rune for transport.
Arcana.
Okay.
Uriel will help.
17.
Okay, and you say the word?
Say that word.
Okay. I am going to share my screen, and what I need you guys to do is to go to Discord and look at my screen. Okay, is that showing?
I see your face.
You need to click on look at my screen, or whatever it says. There, go to the voice channel and it'll tell you I'm sharing my screen.
Yep.
And then you should just see a white square.
I do.
Okay, does everybody else see that?
I don't.
So
Let me try here.
if you go to the Discord channel,
Oh, I see it now.
Okay, so, and this should have audio too.
Point. We start with a point. Like the point we know from geometry, it has no size, no dimension. It's just an imaginary idea that indicates a position in a system. A second point, then, can be used to indicate a different position. But it, too, is of indeterminate size. To create the first dimension,
with 2
all
black
we need
dots.
is a line joining any 2 points. A first-dimensional object has length only, no width or depth.
With a line.
If we now take our first-dimensional line and draw a second line crossing the first, we've entered the second dimension. The object we're representing now has a length and a width, but no depth.
Are you guys telling me you're not hearing this?
No.
We're not
We're not hearing anything, but we're seeing the lines being drawn.
No, you're supposed to be hearing it too.
Oh, okay. I thought we were looking at the line.
I don't know why you're not hearing it. Streaming channel. Frame rate, resolution. Okay, can I read? Am I still streaming?
I see the stream.
I see a black screen on your stream. Now a white block.
We start with a point.
Oh wait,
The
there's
point we
some
know from
sound.
geometry, it has no size.
It's very low.
There's still no sound?
No,
It's
there's some sound. It's
very
low.
Like undiscernibly low. Can you give us the YouTube link?
I wanted to watch it as a group.
Right.
That really breaks my vision.
Are you on max volume for yourself?
Yeah. There you go. It's in the Discord channel.
We can just all hit play at the same time. Just someone give us a countdown.
Okay. You ready? 3, 2, 1, play.
We start with a point. Like the point we know from geometry, it has no size, no dimension. It's just an imaginary idea that indicates a position in a system. A second point, then, can be used to indicate a different position. But it, too, is of indeterminate size. To create the first dimension, all we need is a line joining any 2 points. A first-dimensional object has length only, no width or depth. If we now take our first-dimensional line and draw a second line crossing the first, we've entered the second dimension. The object we're representing now has a length and a width, but no depth. To help us with imagining the higher dimensions, we're going to represent our second-dimensional object as being created using a second line, which branches off from the first. Now let's imagine a race of 2-dimensional creatures called flatlanders. What would it be like to be a flatlander living in their 2-dimensional world? A 2-dimensional creature would have only length and width, as if they were the royalty on an impossibly flat playing card. Picture this, A flatlander couldn't possibly have a digestive tract because the pipe from their mouth to their bottom would divide them into two pieces. And a flatlander, trying to view our three-dimensional world, would only be able to perceive shapes in two-dimensional cross-sections. A balloon, for instance, would start as a tiny dot, become a hollow circle which inexplicably grows to a certain size, then shrinks back to a dot before popping out of existence. And we three-dimensional human beings would seem very strange indeed to a flatlander. Imagining the third dimension is the easiest for us, because every moment of our lives, that's what we're in. A three-dimensional object has length, width, and height. But here's another way to describe the third dimension. If we imagine an ant walking across a newspaper which is lying on a table, we can pretend that the ant is a flatlander, walking along on a flat two-dimensional newspaper world. If that paper is now folded in the middle, we create a way for our flatlander ant to magically disappear from one position in his two-dimensional world and be instantly transported to another. We can imagine that we did this by taking a two-dimensional object and folding it through the dimension above, which is our third dimension. Once again, it'll be more convenient for us as we imagine the higher dimensions if we can think of the third dimension in this way. The third dimension is what you fold through to jump from one point to another in the dimension below. The first three dimensions can be described with these words: length, width, and depth. What word can we assign to the fourth dimension? One answer would be duration. If we think of ourselves as we were 1 minute ago, and then imagine ourselves as we are at this moment, the line we could draw from the 1 minute ago version to the right now version would be a line in the fourth dimension. If you were to see your body in the fourth dimension, you'd be like a long undulating snake, with your embryonic self at one end and your deceased self at the other. But because we live from moment to moment in the third dimension, we're like our second dimensional flatlander. Just like that flatlander who could only see two-dimensional cross-sections of objects from the dimension above, we, as three-dimensional creatures, can only see three-dimensional cross-sections of our fourth dimensional self. One of the most intriguing aspects of there being one dimension stacked on another is that down here in the dimensions below we can be unaware of our motion in the dimensions above. Here's a simple example. If we make a Mobius strip, take a long strip of paper, add one twist to it and take the ends together, and draw a line down the length of it, our line will eventually be on both sides of the paper before it meets back with itself. It appears, somewhat amazingly, that the strip has only one side, so it must be a representation of a two-dimensional object. And this means that a two-dimensional flatlander, traveling down the line we just drew, would end up back where they started without ever feeling like they had left the second dimension. In reality, they would be looping and twisting in the third dimension, even though to them it felt like they were traveling in a straight line. The fourth dimension, time, feels like a straight line to us, moving from the past to the future. But that straight line in the fourth dimension is, like the Mobius strip, actually twisting and turning in the dimension above. So the long undulating snake that is us will feel like it is moving in a straight line in the fourth dimension, but there will actually be, in the fifth dimension, a multitude of paths that we could branch to at any given moment. Those branches will be influenced by our own choice, chance, and the actions of others. Quantum physics tells us that the subatomic particles that make up our world are collapsed from waves of probabilities simply by the act of observation. In the picture we are drawing for ourselves here, we can now start to see how each of us are collapsing the indeterminate wave of probable futures contained in the fifth dimension into the fourth dimensional line that we are experiencing as time. What if you wanted to go back into your own childhood and visit yourself? We can imagine folding the fourth dimension through the fifth, jumping back through time and space to get there. But what if you wanted to get to the world where, for example, you had created a great invention as a child that by now had made you famous and rich? We can imagine our fourth dimensional selves branching out from our current moment into the fifth dimension. But no matter where you go from here, the great child inventor timeline is not one of the available options in your current version of time. You can't get there from here, no matter how much choice, chance, and the actions of others become involved. There are only two ways you could get to that world. One would be to travel back in time, somehow trigger the events that caused you to come up with your invention, then travel forward in the fifth dimension to see one of the possible new worlds that might have resulted. But that would be taking the long way. The shortcut we could take would involve us folding the fifth dimension through the sixth dimension, which allows us to instantly jump from our current position to a different fifth dimensional line. In our description of the fourth dimension, we imagine taking the dimension below and conceiving of it as a single point. The fourth dimension is a line which can join the universe as it was 1 minute ago to the universe as it is right now. Or, in the biggest picture possible, we could say that the fourth dimension is a line which joins the Big Bang to one of the possible endings of our universe. Now, as we enter the seventh dimension, we're about to imagine a line which treats the entire sixth dimension as if it were a single point. To do that, we have to imagine all the possible timelines, which could have started from our Big Bang, joined to all the possible endings for our universe, a concept which we often refer to as infinity, and treat them all as a single point. So for us, a point in the seventh dimension would be infinity, all possible timelines, which could have or will have occurred from our Big Bang. When we describe infinity as being a point in the seventh dimension, we're only imagining part of the picture. If we're drawing a seventh dimensional line, we need to be able to imagine what a different point in the seventh dimension is going to be, because that's what our line is going to be joined to. But how can there be anything more than infinity? The answer is, there can be other completely different infinities created through initial conditions which are different from our own Big Bang. Different initial conditions will create different universes, where the basic physical laws such as gravity or the speed of light are not the same as ours. And the resulting branching timelines from that universe's beginning to all its possible endings will create an infinity which is completely separate from the one which is associated with our own universe. So the line we draw in the seventh dimension will join one of those infinities to another. And as boggling as the magnitude
I
of
actually understand this.
if we were to branch off from that seventh dimensional line to draw a line to yet another infinity, we'd then be entering.
This is astrophysics in a box.
As we've explored already, we can jump from one point in any dimension to another simply by folding it through the dimension above. If our ant on the newspaper were a two-dimensional...
This is the concept of the multiverse.
This two-dimensional world to the third dimension would allow him to magically disappear from one location and appear in a different one. As we're now imagining the ninth dimension, the same rules would apply. If we were to be able to instantaneously jump from one eighth dimensional line to another, it would be because we're able to fold through the ninth dimension. Before we discuss the first dimension, we could say that we first started out with dimension 0, which is the geometrical concept of the point. A point indicates a location in a system, and each point is of indeterminate size. The first dimension then takes two of these points and joins them with a line. When we imagined the fourth dimension, it was as if we were treating the entirety of three-dimensional space in a particular state as a single point, and drawing a fourth-dimensional line to another point, representing space as it is in a different state. We often refer to the line we have just drawn
And this is the multiverse part.
And in the seventh dimension, we treated all of the possible timelines which could be generated from our Big Bang as if this were a single point, and imagine drawing a line to a point representing all the possible timelines for a completely different universe. Now, as we enter the 10th dimension, we have to imagine all the possible branches for all the possible timelines of all the possible universes and treat that as a single point in the 10th dimension. So far, so good. But this is where we hit a roadblock. If we're going to imagine the 10th dimension as continuing the cycle and being a line, then we're going to have to imagine a different point that we can draw that line to. But there's no place left to go. By the time we have imagined all possible timelines for all possible universes as being a single point in the 10th dimension, it appears that our journey is done. In string theory, physicists tell us that superstrings vibrating in the 10th dimension are what create the subatomic particles which make up our universe, and all of the other possible universes as well. In other words, all possibilities are contained within the 10th dimension, which would appear to be the concept we have just built for ourselves, as we imagined the 10 dimensions built one upon another.
So I need to make an intellectual check because me as a person totally understood that. As somebody that studies astrophysicists and quasars as a pastime, that made total sense.
I thought my class ended a week ago.
So it's the concept of
That's what you thought.
Now, it tracks, not fully, but like I can understand it.
To dumb it down. If the possibility of everything is possible, then everything equals everything, and if everything equals everything, then you equal to a single point.
Mm-hmm.
And if you equal to a single point, you have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
That's where string theory lives and dies. The moment you say there is somewhere else to go, string theory dies and the quantum physics lives.
And extrapolate that vaguely into faux fantasy language somehow. I don't know, use your imagination.
There is to a time wizard that's like, there's infinite possibilities. I already knew this. Now I see the bigger picture. I don't know. Like I said, do I need to make a roll for a Zune? Because it's right up his timeline.
I don't think you really need to roll anything. That's pretty much what you see is what you get, and you know it's. I don't think you really need to roll anything.
And that's just in holding the gem?
No, you activated it.
Okay, so we all saw that universally together.
Yeah, it projects an image like that.
So as soon as it ends, the Zune goes, wow! What a great interpretation of the 4th, 5th, 6th dimension, the 9th dimension, the 8th dimension, and the 10th dimension if you really get into it. I think he explained that excellently. What a wonderful job. I mean, really, if you wanted to explain all possibilities in a single universe, that's the way to do it. He didn't do too bad of a job of it. I wonder who created that. Think about it.
So now what?
If that was a single gem, think about it. We sat here for what, 5 minutes? If that was a single gem of the information in that book, it's mind blowing. I could write.
Beware, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you for a minute.
Oh, no, I'm here.
Sorry. Go on.
If that's even a single pebble of information in the book, which I mean, I could have wrote was in that excellent display in a single page. I mean, that is the basis of time continuum. If this book holds hundreds of pages in it, it just further expands on my point. We need to take this to someone that can remove the protective magic around it and collect the reward.
Yes. Agreed.
You still have a strong assumption that we're getting the reward.
So we kill whoever stops us. If they want to take it from us, we blow them up. If they want to buy it or if they want to study it, we charge them for it. It's
should
economics.
vet them first and not let just anybody.
Well, I mean, obviously, that's a given. I'm not saying just hand this over to any creepy bone skeleton lich figure that's like, ooh, I want to see the time continuum. It's obviously got to be responsible personnel. But I mean, look at the empire we exist in. The correct person within the empire, within the infrastructure that holds the select responsibility. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities. But anybody would pay a kingdom, a chiefdom, worth of gold for this.
That's cool. Can I investigate this chest of drawers real quick? Just to see if something's in there.
Does that drawing have any relevance?
I don't like
No,
it.
that's just me piddling around.
Okay.
Sure. He's saying we're about to die. I get it.
Because we're in Kariska. Is this an empire or is this a?
Kiriska is a fractured like group of warring kingdoms and baronies. Like the borders are often shifting and different.
But they would consider themselves kingdoms.
Yeah.
So that being
But the continent as a whole is not unified.
So that being said, I don't actually know my point of origin because I don't know where gnomes originate as a kingdom. Do I come from a unified kingdom point, or do I come from a fractured kingdom point as a gnome?
I was thinking you come from a more individual situation where. Because you didn't really, if I remember right, I don't remember you really writing anything about any kind of society around you.
I left it super open to let you grab it, drag me to this point, create these lines. I wrote it very open-ended to where this is my situation, but wherever that situation ties to is open-ended because I didn't like delve super deep into the history of the world and where different societies had developed. Look at that.
Oh. Some more gemstones in here.
So knowing what I do about Riska and the fact that we're in it right now, Zune, you keep mentioning empires, and the book says empire, but there's nothing like that still here.
There's nothing imperial in Kiriska.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're talking about ancient knowledge, and trust me, I would personally love to be the first to study this, but the magic protecting it is beyond my knowledge. But if we can find somebody that will simply remove the think about the druid we just did a huge favor for. Maybe he knows how to remove the protective magic around it. If he will do it in return for what we did for him, now we have a tome that me and Alaris could study in depth and then turn around and sell the knowledge after we know it. I mean, the possibilities are endless. We could all walk away with a castle, with a research laboratory. Oh my, do you know what we could do with a research laboratory?
Not so much, but I've met you, so I believe a lot could be done. It's just getting there first.
What does elevated reading?
Does that apply to this though? It's on fire. I didn't figure it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Shepherd deity perk.
You said it does. So
yeah.
Okay.
Calidorn, you can heal us, right?
I can help you feel better, but
I'll take it.
Cannot bring you back from incredibly stupid mistakes.
I'm not saying you have to open it, but I'm just saying you do have advantage on any kind of saving throw. So you might be taking half fire damage if you pass that saving throw, or you might be completely resisting the glyph of warding, or you might take half damage. If there's something that transports you to another plane, then if you pass the save, it'll just not work.
Azun walks
is
really
Alaris-
close to the sapphire, to the sphere of fire, and he's looking very intently at it.
What?
What are you looking for? Anything in particular?
No. He's like the guy on a precipice, and he's staring at the fire, and he's staring at the book very intently, like he's on the verge of making a decision at this point.
Alaris has been like messaging to you, Thor, right? I haven't heard her.
Oh, I haven't said anything particularly. I did say something. Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you. Can everyone else hear her?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't heard her. Let me
that's
disconnect and
weird.
rejoin the call.
That's weird.
I had muted her for the video because she was leaking through the mic, but I unmuted her. I checked that first for sure. And it's just, I guess it's just messed up. So give me a second.
So I'm about to jump in this wall of fire with this book.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm gonna try to open it and read it.
Azun is on the very edge of the sphere, and he's like, he just has this look of like, you're not sure what he might do, but he is focused in on that book. He is creating the mental barriers to make the next step.
Okay. Is Azun's detect magic, would it still be going?
Yeah.
Azun, was the illusion and all that the gem, or was it on the pedestal too? Was there anything else going?
It was the gem.
It was just the gem. Okay, cool.
Azun is kind of spaced out at this point. You see him. He is so like, the more he talks about that book, the more focused in he got, and he has hit the point where he is staring at the book.
Okay.
And he's like inches away from this sphere of fire. I don't know how hot it is, but he's like a hair's breadth away from physically touching it, and he's just staring at it.
If you go any closer, you're going to start taking damage.
Yes. He is just on the outside of physically boiling his skin.
I would like to put the book up on this pedestal and see if I can figure out. I want to open it back up and see if I can read anything. Also, I would like to try to find out, since I can discern like the origin.
Are you
where it's from? I guess it's from here. You would think it's from here, but maybe not. I don't know when it's from.
Are you reading it from outside the sphere of fire?
I want to try that first, and then I'm gonna try to go into the fire a little bit.
So as soon as she moves it, Azun is following that book religious. Like, he is. It's almost like there's a spell on him. He is just religiously following it. And it may not be assisting. I'm not necessarily saying he's sharing the information, but he is definitely watching every move she makes, and he is intently focused on the book.
What should I roll to try to learn more about this book and try to read it through the fire?
Nothing until I figure out what saving throw you need to avoid the fire, and I think it's going to be dexterity save.
Well, she's using Mage Hand to move it around.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I'm gonna try to read it without touching it and going too close to it. And if I can't, I mean, I'm gonna try. I don't know. I'm gonna try to read it.
Did anybody yet investigate that chest?
No, we were
No,
afraid it
No.
was
nobody has.
trapped.
Okay.
All you
That's
heard
what I
was
thought it was.
Azun say, "Don't touch that chest," and point at it, and then in comes the magical information video, and then he is just
Yeah.
intently focused on the book.
Um,
Okay, what kind of?
Oh boy.
Okay.
We've gone
so
white.
this,
Oh, okay.
they've gone to plaid.
Oh no,
So
it's
this
it's
was-
just white.
It is white right now.
100%.
Well, I'm only at 41, but you know.
I'm at 100% now.
Okay, so this was written by Vincent Wormbage, who was apparently
Oh,
working
we're looking at-
closely with somebody named Calidorn, who they appear to have been friends. And so this sorry, give me a sec.
There's actually a little mark over here. I don't know if anyone can see that.
Nope.
It's a mark.
Yep, there's a little mark in my white block.
It's just an artifact. I don't know what it is. Just ignore it.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so this was written by Vincent Wormbage and Calidorn, and this is something called Calidorn's Primer, and it describes the effect of Calidorn and his adventuring party when they encountered a time bloodstone. And this is a stone that they describe as coming in and out of existence, presumably traveling through time. But it does stay in one place sometime for a period of time, no pun intended. And there we go. There's your time bloodstone.
Is that the elevator reading? You haven't?
I don't understand what you mean. Oh, you mean is no, this the elevated reading is when she runs into
Oh, okay.
if she runs into a glyph of warding or something, then she'll have a better chance of avoiding it.
Okay, so we got transported to somewhere else that has this time bloodstone in it, basically.
No, you didn't get transported anywhere.
Oh.
I'm just showing you what's in the book.
Oh, it's just in the book.
You're reading through it,
It's
right?
just in the book. Okay, cool. Thought we got transported. I got scared. Okay.
You're reading through it, right?
Yeah, I'm reading through it.
You're reading through the book?
Here's what I see. At the moment.
And he and his party, so there was, stop changing my color, you turd.
I see a big white blob.
That's terrible. Let me use the text tool. So his party, it was Tillin the Paladin, Helm Swiftblade, Greenwich, and Nemesis and Melina. And when they encountered this bloodstone, they were not aware of it at first. But the flow of time through the fourth dimension appeared linear to them, and would have went like this, but their characters, whoever these guys are, got caught in its power and they did this.
This stuck
And
into
they
a
did it.
time loop.
They did it over and over again before they got out of it. And Vincent later expanded on that idea along with Calidorn to say, okay, so you're going along and the flow of time is supposed to be doing this, but you do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say a third party enters the time loop and does this. Wait, let me get that. That would change something that happens at this point, and it would start like a feedback loop that would keep compounding on itself in a way of like keep creating over and over this iterative aggregation loop.
So, is this from reading the book?
Yeah.
So, Azun definitely walked forward at the same time she did, at the very least, if not before. Like, if he saw her go forward to read the book, he was going forward to read the book.
And that's about all I can talk about tonight. But that's not everything there is to say about the book, but that'll give you a pretty good idea.
Wow. Well, all right.
Azun just starts going. Did we take damage from that? Do we need to make any saves?
You were using your mage hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't trigger any glyphs yet.
Oh, so that we could read through the flames?
Yeah, I mean, not easily, but yeah.
Okay. Azun starts just going off, like, flip the next page. He's pulling out paperwork. He's pulling out his spell book. He's, like, the
Hey, do me a
world's
favor and
been redefined for him, and he is rewriting every equation as fast as he can.
let's pretend you told Calidorn all the names.
Nope.
I would have
Azun.
told you the names. Azun is off, making notes.
Ilaris did.
Yeah,
Azun
he's
is just
busy.
Azun is just too in his own head right now
Yeah.
to really interact. But
I wrote them down, so I need some reason to have them.
I would have told you.
Awesome. And my last bit of interest for the evening is opening that last chest. Just
You're
alright,
gonna
give
open
me
it?
So
an investigation check.
the moment
Well-
he starts going towards it, Azun kind of looks out of quarter of eyes and he goes, "Stop! I'll get back to that." And he immediately goes right back into his books.
He's gonna open it.
yeah, Alaris, do you would you like to help me?
I don't think you should open the book. I really believe it's trapped. I mean, the chest. I think it might be trapped.
Oh,
I mean, if you want to, I'm gonna.
I
hide
can
around
believe
this
it
corner.
is, but I just need a set of eyes to look and see if they can figure out how it is before I open it.
Oh, I don't think it's a magical trap.
I thought Azun said it was. Azun, was this a magical effect?
Azun doesn't miss a beat writing and he goes, "Magical!" And just keeps writing in his notes. He is lost. He is so far down the rabbit hole. We could be attacked by a horde of orcs and he's in the rabbit hole.
Well, let's hope he's not that far in, but
He is.
yes. So if you could just lend me your your eyes and your attention for a second, Alaris. I
Yeah.
would appreciate that. I'll open it. I'll let you get out of the way. But
Is the moment he crosses the threshold
Should ask
of
Uriel.
my the moment he crosses my threshold of line of sight, I go, "It'll go boom," and just keeps writing, and says nothing else.
Is Khaldul proficient in investigation?
I am not proficient in investigation.
Who is?
But Uriel is.
Like,
I
like two or
imagine he would help.
all of the wizards.
Right.
I'm proficient in perception,
Okay.
so we can
I guess.
Oh,
one-two punch it.
Actually, Uriel probably would have said something at this point about using her familiar to open it first at a safe distance.
Can a snake open a closed chest?
No.
Really?
Not if it's locked.
Oh, I mean,
I would assume
not at
even if it
all.
was,
Really, I don't think.
even if it was latched.
I mean, a snake has more power than you think.
Yeah, but to open even a latch, you need an anchor point, and the snake kind
Have
of
you ever
lacks
seen how
that while trying to grab.
a snake can operate its muscles from any point of origin on its body?
You know,
so-
I believe that too, but I am not going to look it up because I do not want to be freaked out tonight.
I used to own snakes, and at any point of its body, it can constrict with equal strength.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I used to own a rainbow boa constrictor and a ball python, and both of them operated in that capacity.
Your call, Thor.
This chest is locked and trapped.
So locked, the snake couldn't open. I'm not saying it could tell you it's trapped, but it could at least try to budge it to trigger a trap. In my opinion.
Yeah, does Uriel have the investigation proficiency?
She does. She
So
has proficiency.
I just want the two of us to go over it before I try to open it.
Uriel
Well, it's trapped.
Uriel has
Give her-
+6 to investigation if you'd like her to look at it.
I'll throw a perception roll up if Thor wants that, and I would take an investigation roll from Uriel, just on the outside of the chest. Anything up with it that we can tell from there.
Okay. She's gonna try to get it open.
23 for investigation.
I would tell her that
It is locked and trapped, and that excellent investigation will give her advantage on her thieves' tools. What were you about to tell her?
that she does not have to open it. That I can do it. But
Okay, if you want.
Does her investigation plus Azum's detect magic give any indication to the specific spell that might trigger, or a list of spells that might trigger? Like any runes on the chest that could be found, or anything that might indicate a triggering mechanism?
It's hard to say. That's not an answer that is obvious to you.
That's fair.
Cool.
Uriel will let you do it and stand around the corner.
No, that's fine. That's all I'm calling for.
Actually, Uriel's gonna walk in the next room and around the next corner.
I'm gonna go around this corner here.
What kind of check will this be? Try and open it.
You will need thieves' tools to open it.
We had that collection earlier, so I'd say that I can just figure out who has a set and.
Uriel has a set.
Alright, I'll ask politely for Uriel to borrow hers for the time being.
Shouldn't be an issue.
So I will use those.
Wait, is Uriel proficient in... Oh, she's
Yes,
proficient in
she
these tools.
is.
She would probably
She should
take
probably
the lead
do
on
it.
that.
Yeah.
Again, if that makes sense, but I'm not. I was just asking for.
She has one level of rogue.
She would.
I wasn't sure if maybe you weren't aware of that. I don't know.
I did not check deeply into her, but it's clearly listed. Yeah, 1 level of rogue. She would take the lead on this.
Okay.
Well, does she feel confident that unlocking it would not trigger the magic, the protective conjuration magic around it?
If she
Or
unlocks it,
evocation?
Yeah, the invocation magic she thinks is coming from inside it.
if she unlocks it, I'll open it.
Okay, so she's gonna go for the unlocking, which will be a thieves tool check.
No, you still wanna you wanna disable the trap before you try to open it.
Well, she already made an investigation.
She set it off.
Oh, she set it off.
And a large cloud of gas comes pouring out. And make a, for those who are in it, which is Calidorn and Uriel, we're going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
And she is good. So she should get out of that cloud at this time.
Oh, fuck.
Calidorn falls asleep.
I cannot be put to sleep.
Okay, then there's no effect.
Okay.
It's sleep gas.
Nice.
Haha!
I have Fey
immunity
ancestry. Yep, magic can't put me to sleep.
Aha, DM, your trap does not work.
You have to understand that I've been sitting on
When you open it up, there is a magic robe that is radiating invocation magic. And basically that. And I've got to call it at this point because, first of all, I have to go to the bathroom. Second of all, I'm tired.
Yeah, no, all good.
My phone's about to die.
So I will see you guys next week. What was that?
I said my phone's about to die anyway. Yes, good time. Good time, man.
Could we make a quick check to see if we can identify the robe just for the sake of throwing it in the SOP?
Yep, go ahead.
I'll,
The usual check.
I'll let Alaris lead that with advantage, assuming Uriel's helping her because the Zune is down the rabbit hole.
Arcana. Woo. Okay.
19 either way.
Did
Okay,
you-
that.
Oh, and there's 200 gold?
And 700 silver. How much silver was it?
Stars.
500.
Oh, for some reason I was like, oh, that's how much it's worth, but that's not correct. I am tired.
It's a robe of stars and 200 gold and 500 silver.
Nice. That's amazing.
Wow.
I want this robe. Actually, I don't know. I gotta see what it is.
Gonna be honest, I might fight you guys for it. Holy
We're
shit.
gonna have to all fight Boulder Parchment
It's-
shears for it.
How do I...
That's
How do-
right, Boulder Department Shears. Let's go.
How do you
I
link
like
from the
that.
compendium to the chat? That's not the right button. That work? That does not work.
Are you asking how to open the description of the robe of stars and pop it into chat?
Yes.
It doesn't do that. I'll just manually copy and paste it.
Nah, I can grab it at that point. Oh,
Cool. All right, guys.
All right. Right.
I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, what am I talking about? Next week.
no
And
problem.
2 weeks from now, I am out of town. So,
Yep.
just so you know. All right. Have a good one.
You too.
See ya. Talking about
All
next
right.
week.